We're live.
And away we go. Very nice.
Oh, we get the audio.
Oh, yeah, we do. I'm such a fucking ham.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's a ham. I didn't know if my stain would show up, but it is. So it's just what it is.
Just a little bit.
Just a little
Is it
Sharpie.
like marker? Yeah.
Just a little Sharpie mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Do I have other stains? I don't know. I might have other stains. We're just rolling with
Let's
it. Are we live?
pull this down for a bit. Yeah, we are live.
That's great.
We are definitely live.
Oh my, you guys are totally streamers now.
I know.
Also, hi.
It's pretty. All right, I'll put you back.
Hi, Ben.
Hello. Here we go.
I know. Well, we just have a lot to say, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes we're just parsing through things, and there's a lot to say. I think this would be good, though. Miriam was on a tear earlier. I don't know if she still has it in her, but she was on a tear.
It's always in here. Yeah, I was on a tear.
Okay, so first I'll say, I don't know how to... So in my mind, when this idea comes through... Yeah, in my mind, I always want to make it something...
Okay, what? Make it what?
You're like, okay, stop singing. Say your point.
I started the singing.
Well, I like the idea of doing a narrative review. Very similar to how we're doing like book reviews. We've done one book review, but you know how we do book reviews? We do so many book reviews just all the time. Well, I was thinking we could also start a new thing where we also do narrative reviews.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to pan out. I don't, but I think this is a cool place to start.
Okay.
Talking about the future of the narratives, because I feel like this would be one of our main points in all of the videos anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we can dip our toe in and then kind of see where it goes. Wow. Normally you got to pay for those.
Yeah, it's true. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, what did I name this? I named this The Future of the Narratives, an intuitive scan through alternative health, politics, and World War III.
Mm.
Yeah. So this is what we were talking about earlier, was there's all the narratives happening right now, right? And in the alternative health space, you have, what's her name, Lexi?
Mm-hmm.
Alexis. And everyone's sharing her very tragic story.
Mm-hmm.
To the point that now it's like mainstream, like RFK and Candace Owens are sharing her story. And when things start going that mainstream that quickly, I think we both get a little bit skeptical. And we start thinking about the overall trajectory of consciousness. And it's wild that that's where it takes us.
Oh.
But what?
Oh, is this one of those?
This is one of the old waters.
Yeah,
it's been
sat
sitting
too
in the,
long.
But yeah, we started thinking about where all those things go. And I think we do the same when it's when we hear anything political. We do the same when we see anything trending on Twitter. We do the same when we see all of the news of World War III and Putin and Ukraine and the long-range strike missiles that only NATO and the U.S. have control over, yada, 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 yada. It seems like our overall consciousness is being corralled in a direction. And I was thinking about this the other day. I have a little note in my phone that says the purpose of the internet. And I guess it's conspiratorial. Yeah, I guess that's a conspiratorial thought.
Can we go back where we see the screen?
But yeah, my thought was that the purpose of the internet from a fuck.
What?
Well,
I'm
trying to talk. Well,
I have to be vain and look at myself.
Okay. My thought was that the purpose of the internet is to homogenize our collective belief. That it's working towards something like a new world religion. And what got me on that thread was seeing Elon Musk and Jordan Peterson talk about Christianity. And it seems like they're headed toward like this central node where all of the secular like simulation theory depressed dudes are headed toward Christianity, which is weird. It's odd. And all of the Christians are Jordan Petersoning their way over to this very like psychological Christianity, not, it's like a very secular Christianity where everything is metaphor for the deeper meaning of how to organize civilization in a manner that is good over time, passed down from generation to generation, like that perspective, not a phenomenological Christianity. So I've been thinking about this, the purpose of the internet and the purpose of, regardless of where it was created or what the idea was birthed from, or whether or not technology is slow drip to the collective over time, like a very conspiratorial, or whether it is just naturally emergent, which I don't completely believe so. But even if it was just naturally emergent technology, like we invented the internet, just some guy in his garage, and, Facebook didn't come out of a CIA program. It was just Mark. Just Mark in his college dorm room, let's just take the real mainstream consensus perspective that all of this is really organic. Even then, what is the internet being utilized for today? Because I believe, and I think we both believe, that there are very clear dark forces at play. There's a sort of controlling hand in the collective. There is a organized, etheric, non-physical and physical hierarchy of individuals and beings who seem to want to take this thing in a very specific direction. And that's where you get into the spiritual landscape, and where you get into God versus everything else, where you get into light versus dark. And there are old metaphors for it. There's Christianity, but we're looking at this from a very different perspective. And I think it would be interesting for us to be able to unpack some of our ideas around all of this, like that perhaps the purpose of the internet is to consolidate, to homogenize all of our belief, and that we're all being corralled psychologically and in our ideology toward this kind of homogenized utopian, we all get along and all kind of generally believe the same thing, melting pot style civilization, but we're all living inside of something that was designed, not that was naturally emergent.
Right.
And from that perspective, where are all these stories right now going? Like, what are the future of the narratives in, like, where are these invisible hands, not economics, but where's the invisible hand of darkness trying to guide us psychologically? And that to me is much more interesting than, is there going to be disclosure over these things? Or is everyone going to finally find out what P. Diddy did and all of his, who was on the list, the island? And none of that stuff really hits for me. The thing that I always end up finding myself thinking is, why is this information coming out right now? Why is this information being pushed in the algorithms? I don't believe it's organic.
And what's it doing?
What's it doing, and what's the end goal here? That to me is always way more fascinating. So I imagine we'll get into a bunch of different topics, but I don't think it's about any of the topics. Like, it's very similar to Flat Earth and Tartaria, and we talk about these things. Like, I don't think we really care about Flat Earth or Tartaria that much. We care about the underlying ideology. We care about the idea that darkness seems to have some control here, and these are collective pockets that are exploring that same idea from a different lens. And I think similarly, like, I don't think we're like hardcore anti-vaxxers and that we're going to make this our whole identity, and we're going to go out and we're going to fight on Capitol Hill, and we're going to pass legislation, we're going to wake up the masses to medical misinformation. Like, I don't think we really care from an identity perspective about these issues. We have our beliefs about those issues and we have our stances, but I think the thing that we're most interested in is what's really happening here from a larger spiritual perspective, because most people seem to be completely spiritually blind and completely have no spiritual understanding of what's happening whatsoever. So I think our perspectives and the way that we think about things are really unique at the very least, regardless of whether we're spot on or fucking batshit crazy. I think our belief systems and the way that we perceive the world from a spiritual lens is really unique, and I think it's worthwhile putting that out.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's where I'll start.
Cool. That's a good opening.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Man, I feel so low energy. I just feel like tanked.
Yeah, I know. I do too.
Let's see. It must be an ascension symptom.
Yeah.
I'm ascending. If you guys aren't tired like me.
You're clearly not so advanced.
In the Okay, so there's like several different things, but one of the things I've been thinking about recently is this whole like Alexis Lorenz, her story. And it's fascinating to me that it's getting mainstream coverage. It has gone viral. And I don't think things go viral without like they don't like it's not like darkness doesn't know. Like
Sure.
if the information wasn't supposed to be out there, it just wouldn't be. Like it wouldn't be. It's easy enough to suppress things.
Yeah.
And to have us not know. I mean, and have us believe in a completely different narrative.
Yeah, and to give that point some legs, like you type into ChatGPT, summarize this, and it knows immediately what you're talking about, or immediately what the article is. The idea that, and you go to YouTube captions, and it's transcribed pretty fucking good.
What with this?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like every piece
general?
of information that goes out, at the very minimum, there is an AI that knows exactly what it's talking about, exactly its perspective, exactly what angle it has, exactly what ideologically its foundation is. Like the idea that things couldn't be suppressed that quickly is crazy. I think so. I'm saying, to give what you're saying legs, I 100% agree.
Okay. Right. Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, so what's going on here? And then I was like, oh, let me reread Spars.
Mm-hmm.
It's still accessible. You can still find it. You can read it. I didn't read the whole thing like I did back in 2020, but I did read the like final chapter about like basically like the loss of life and like vaccine injury and some sort of admittance to like, oh, something went wrong, you know, like back in 2027. Like that's when the article is written as though it's 2030, I think. And they're like looking back at 2027 and they're like, oh yeah, you know, there were some things that, you know, we didn't really know, but we had to do this because it was for the safety of all mankind. You know, it was just whatever. And then there's like a lane for everything, like the conspiracy theorists, like how they dealt with those people and how things just ended up becoming an echo chamber because it sowed so much division because people believed in different things. So anyway, so I'm just reading through it and I'm like, okay, so why the virality with this woman's story right now? Like, where is this going? Like, why are mainstream, whether you want to believe if Candace and RFK Jr. are mainstream or not, they're literally puppets. Like they're just actors. It's entertainment. It is truly entertainment for the dark agenda. I don't care what you say. These people do not have our best interests. They never will. It's not about that. To even think that is retarded. And I once thought that. But I'm here to tell you that you're an idiot if you think that, because like, hello, like let the scales peel off your eyes for the love of God. So
biblical metaphors.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know. Well, everything you read in the Bible is true. So I can say that.
Factually.
So it's bizarro. It flags to me as something like, it's like, okay, where are they taking this? What are they doing with this? And it's not like they're trying to like shape a narrative to like, oh no, this isn't what's happening with her. Like Candace is very much like, I am anti-vax. I've never vaccinated my children. Like she's saying all the things that you would get censored for saying 4 years ago. So I'm like, okay, so what's that? Like, what's that about? And it's not because she's rebellious and she's like beating the algorithm. Like that's just like, no. There's something here in this. And where is this taking people? And what I was, you know, slingshotted back into or like boomeranged back into was when the RSV vaccine, when parents were fighting for it, they wanted it. They were desperately seeking this RSV vaccine last year, and they were just waiting on bated breath to see if the CDC was going to approve it. And I was like, obviously, like, what? Of course they are. Like, why are you even fighting? Why are you protesting? Like, don't you know this is just a game to like elicit your emotions and to get you all talking about it, and like you're being played. And that's exactly what I feel is happening here with this woman's story. These people are being played. These people that are talking about this are being played. Their emotions are being played on. They're roped up in a story that has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with their life. It has nothing to do with their circumstances. And they're just it's emotionally charged storytelling and regurgitating, but it's like under the guise of bringing awareness, and it's under the guise of helping wake up humanity. But like I'm in the camp of like you as a single person, as an individual, cannot wake up humanity or anyone ever around you. It is absolutely impossible for us to wake up people. I think that is truly divine intervention. That is a job ordained by from God. That's God's job, is to wake up people, not us. Like, I don't think so. I think our inklings and our intuition can be validated by other people's experiences. Like, oh yeah, I did feel like something was off there. Mm-hmm. But like to like be like so in the drama of this woman's story, just it seems like an energy suck. It seems like the same thing with like George Floyd, when people were out talking, protesting, going to the rallies, doing the George Floyd thing. It's like, no, you actually hate your fucking life. Like, be honest about that. Like, be honest about your circumstances. And now you're taking all this like discomfort and outrage about how shitty your life is and how stupid your boyfriend is or whatever the fuck. And like, how you hate your living situation. Like, you're taking that and putting it into a George Floyd protest. It's like, this is fucking weird. Like, y'all are being played. Because when I check in with all this stuff, all of these things I'm supposed to care about, and all the good person things, because if you're really a good person, you would speak on behalf of this woman, you would advocate for her, you would do all these things. When I check, it's like, it's irrelevant. I know where I stand, and I don't need to participate in any of these conversations. And the people that are participating, like, why? And like, is it here for you? Like, genuinely, is it here for you to share this? And if it's not, can you be okay with the guidance that you got that was like, nope, you don't need to say anything right now? Because that's really uncomfortable. It's more comfortable to say something and be in the know and be involved in the conversation and look like you're helping and like you're really doing your part. It's like all these like feel good feelings. Hi, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
But what I come back to is like, it just feels like not only are these people being played, and not only are they doing something that's probably not here for them when they check in and slow down because it's irrelevant to their life, which is considered rude if you say something, if someone's tragic situation is irrelevant to your life, that's not popular. You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to be compassionate. You're supposed to care a lot about every little fucking thing. But it feels like right now the right, in quotes, the like political right is being validated. The anti-vaxxers are being validated by RFK Jr. That allegedly, because then when you get into the bills and all the things he's hemming and hawing about, it's not what it seems, of course. But nobody reads the bills, just like nobody reads the Bible, just like nobody reads the fucking law of one. Nobody reads the things that they follow. They just blindly follow the little talking point. But what's happening is relief is being created. It's the same way that I looked at the stupid people that were begging for the RSV vaccine and then they got it. They won. It's like, no shit. No shit it was going to get approved. That was an absolute waste of energy. And it feels like the same thing is happening. Now there's being relief created. Like, oh, see, all along, I knew these vaccines. I knew this would cause trouble. I knew this would cause a problem. Oh, I'm so glad RFK is talking about it. Look at this person's story. Let's, she's being injured by this thing. Like, see, I told you. And then there's relief that gets created, but the entire thing has been manufactured. Like, how is it? Why don't you already feel relief in your life? Why do you need relief because the government disclosed that ETs are real? Like it's in every single pocket. The outrage is manufactured and the relief is manufactured. And they will play, not saying that this woman's story is manufactured. I think it's very much real. I think she's very much injured and it is a tragedy. And I think it's being utilized. I think it's being weaponized. And I think people are being played in a way that is completely irrelevant to them. I know it's an unpopular stance. I know it. It's rude. I'm not supposed to say that. But the only people that are going to wake up from this story is her. Like, it's her. Like, everyone else is already awake to it. We already know. And the other people around, like, if I were to share this with someone, it gets written off. It gets justified in some weird way. I mean, even someone close to me who is on big pharma medication and was undergoing a procedure not too long ago was saying that, like, hey, yeah, I don't know if I want to undergo this procedure because it's just poison. This is poison. And I'm like, well, you don't have to do it. And she's like, no, but I do. And I'm like, it gets compartmentalized. The authority comes in, the brainwashing comes in, the white coats come in, the white hats come in, the whoever comes in with something else that's like overlaid on their intuitive access. And it's like, no. God's pinging you, telling you this is like you said out of your own mouth what you feel as though this is, and then gone. It's gone. When I validate that, it's gone. It gets immediately rewritten. It's like, that's how darkness works here. And it is so infuriating to me that all these narratives are like, they're running people. They're like absolutely running people. And then it becomes about, well, you need to know your patient's rights and you need to look at that. It's like, what? Like, none of this is relevant. Like, none of this. Like, just don't engage with the system and you're good. But then you don't have anything to talk about. Like, if you're not talking about the drama and you're not in on the scoop, then you have nothing to talk about. And then you're fucking boring. And you have to sit with yourself, your boring, stupid self, and your boring, stupid life. And then that's it. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I end up getting when in this pocket too. I
thought I was tired. I'm still tired. Okay.
It's like I thought this was helping. If this doesn't help, what can I even do?
Exactly.
Right? That's what comes back.
Yes. And nothing.
Yep.
You can do nothing.
Yep.
And like sit with the discomfort of being able to do nothing.
Yep.
And there's only a few people that can actually do something in regards to these particular situations. And you're not one of them.
Yes.
Because if you were, you wouldn't be regurgitating shit on social media. You'd actually be living the experience instead of being like, oh, let me screen record this and post it, or oh, let me videotape this. Like, the people that are in the trenches dealing with real life shit aren't recording it. You don't have time to record it. You're too busy like living and talking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
All the change that I've made here on the board, being a board member, zero of it is on video. Zero of it is on video. Because I'm actually living the experiences and having the conversations.
Yeah, but imagine if it were on video, right? Like, it's actually cool to make that a metaphor for what's happening at scale. Because imagine everything you did was on video and everyone was as invested in it. Right? Imagine there were like millions of views on you talking about the board. Mm-hmm. And they also had their own profiles. Mm-hmm. And they also had millions of views. And people were like, yeah, I'm with her. Like, yeah, you know, I'm with this. And like, wow, what really needs to happen there is this needs to do. It's like the change that's happening is only happening by the actors that are actually engaged in that circumstance. But psychologically, people are so invested in these things that they have no actual levers to pull on.
No, they just hang a fucking flag. They'd hang the Miriam flag because they'd be on my team.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And then you wouldn't want to do that because, in my opinion, your house would be a target. So you probably shouldn't hang the Miriam flag because I have too many enemies. Oh. The people that hang the flags, I'm like, you're a sitting duck. What are you doing? That's a different story.
Yeah, the like, don't tread on me flags. That to me is the stupidest flag. Out of all of them, that to me is the dumbest flag.
I know. Agreed.
The dumbest.
Oh, I have an ass ton of stores, preps, and ammo. And firearms.
Crazy.
Don't come here.
Like, it would be smarter for that same person to hang like a Black Lives Matter flag with, or like the fucking protest fist, or like the gay flags, the non-binary.
Oh yeah, that's the new one I saw.
Yep, white, yellow, purple, black.
Yes.
I didn't know all the different colors on those flags meant something else too. That's fascinating to me.
Made up. Stupid.
But yeah, like the things that we're engaged with aren't actually in our own lives.
I know. That's what's crazy. It's crazy to like a sports team.
So it's like, so what's the purpose of it, right? Like, why are we being encouraged and incentivized to engage with these things, if not to corral our identity into a specific ideological pocket?
Right. And what you were saying in the car earlier is it's like the first of several dominoes. Like, this is a setup. This is a setup for something further out that the dark agenda is guiding us to.
That's what's hard to parse through. Really difficult is, where does this ultimately go? Because it's not like, oh yeah, this video is popping off because there's a larger dark agenda that wants us all to be anti-vaxxers. That's not it. No. That's not it. It's what that response then elicits in the collective, which, and then it's the response to that, or the like the pushing off of that ideology,
Right.
or the way that that then interacts with the larger mainstream, right? Like it's like the way, specifically with this,
Yeah.
I think these people are being weaponized. They're being used. They're players in a game that is prepared.
Right. Because
Prepared.
prepared.
I don't know why I said it so fucking weird.
Prepared.
Yeah,
Prepared.
Pre-prepared, sure.
Prepared. Well, because
do you know what I mean?
Yes, because of course we knew there was going to be fallout from any of these injections, right? Like we knew that. And like the dark, they knew that. So like, of course, there's a script.
And mainstream medical science knew that, and it was in all the literature, and it's already understood that there are side effects, but those side effects are outweighed by the larger collective benefit. That's the mainstream narrative.
Yes.
It's not there are no side effects.
No.
That's what's fucking mind-boggling.
But I think that's how people believe it.
And that was what the narrative was for the mainstream, right? The mainstream narrative was there are no side effects. This is 100% effective.
100%, yes, 100% effective.
And it was a lie, and that lie ended up blowing up in the face of the mainstream narrative, and it was later discussed like, yeah, well, it was kind of a lie, but there's this sense that like, but the mainstream was stupid, and we didn't want to discourage them, so like we embellished a little bit, and like maybe that wasn't the right thing to do. Maybe the psychological manipulation wasn't the right thing to do. Maybe lying, even for the greater good, wasn't the best thing to do. And now that's all of the like moral dilemmas that are being hashed out in like ethics 101 at college campuses around. Yeah. Yes, or like medical ethics 102. Those are the discussions that are now being had today in like medical school.
Yeah.
Should we have lied for the greater good? Right. That's like probably the title of some fucking freshman's paper. That was submitted yesterday. Like those are the conversations that are happening now. And
but it's early in the semester for a paper, but yeah, I think
that's
you're
true.
right.
That's true.
You're probably right.
I mean, well, you got to start preparing for it. You know, it's going to be 25% of the grade. So it's just it's really fascinating to me seeing the narratives play out and where they ultimately go, because it's about the chain reaction of events. Right. And I'm trying to look at this from like a sociological perspective. Where does everybody eventually go?
Right, which is this dark utopia that we keep feeling on the horizon.
Yes,
it's darkness's version,
and it's not the horns and tail and hellish. It's not not culture's darkness. That's a caricature. That's bullshit. That's the same as we were all fucking goth and emo back in the. I wasn't really, but that kids were goth and emo back. Okay. It's the same. Yeah. It's that. It's innocent. Real darkness is not that innocent. I think most Satanists do it for the memes. Yeah. Truthfully, most Satanists are atheists, and they do it because it's funny. Yeah. It's funny to make Christians uncomfortable because the Christians they think are stupid. So they look at the Christians and they go, "Oh yeah, look, I'll put on my eyeliner," ooh, and they think it's really fucking funny. And they think saying that they're going to go to hell is funny because they don't believe in anything.
Right.
That's where culture actually is. But real darkness isn't that caricature. They're trying to create a utopia. And that's what's such a mind fuck to get across when we're talking about this, because every time we say the word darkness, it comes with all the connotations. Yep. Like, oh, well, they must be talking about the Christian darkness. They must be talking about Satan, like a big buff being with a long, sexy red tail. It's like, no. It's not that. There are these non-physical beings, and they want to create a utopia to prove that our inner wisdom connected to God, that line of authority that God has over goodness is invalid. That's all that darkness wants to prove. And you can actually see it as a good thing. You can see it as virtuous, a virtuous sacrifice that darkness is making. That's one perspective. Is darkness is making a virtuous sacrifice and is being the scapegoat for all of reality because their job is to prove that God isn't actually good. And if they're right, everything they are doing is so fucking virtuous. They're on the front lines of changing reality forever for the good, right? And that's the mind fuck about this.
I was going to say, I think that makes people uncomfortable to think that.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It's uncomfortable for me too. It's an uncomfortable idea.
That darkness is a check on God.
Yes.
How can we do this without divine intervention? How can we create our own growth experiences outside of God's
Yeah.
orchestration.
Ra from the Law of One would call it creating your own catalyst, which is the goal of the spiritual evolution. How do you create your own experiences for you? Yeah, we don't like these experiences that God's creating for us. We don't like reality as it already is. We don't like this divine orchestration. How do I block out all of the guidance that I'm getting and all of the evolutionary edge that I'm being pressed into? How do I block out what God wants me to be so I can create what I really want?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's not, yeah, I mean, and it is more technologically advanced, that dark utopia. It is more like merge machine and human.
And more emotionally pleasurable.
Yep.
Quality of life is higher.
Yes.
All the overall
metrics.
lifespan higher.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Health much better.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I really believe that. They're not trying to kill everyone. That's a stupid idea.
There's still classes.
Yeah, but it's for the good.
Because they still need worker bees. They still need people that are going to fall in line and be happy with the status quo.
But I think overall lifespan will be much higher. Birth rates will be much lower.
Well, yeah, you just grow the babies.
Well, you don't need to replace the generations as quickly because the lifespans are so long. So you have to slow down the birth rate. Mm-hmm. To create an overall sustainable environment where we're living in balance living in harmony with nature. What's the Georgia Guidestone's language? Something like that. Mm-hmm. Perpetual balance with nature.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what's odd is like sustainability, improving the overall quality of our emotional and physical health. All of that's a part of the plan. And that's what's weird about when I really get into these pockets and I start thinking about it. It's like, I don't like the truther, conspiracy theorists, anti-vaxxer. I don't like those perspectives because they pretend that evil is evil. They pretend that darkness is evil. And I don't think darkness is evil. They justify it as a means to an end to create a good.
Their defined good, which is different than
it's different than the good that we follow and the good that we feel deep within our beings. And that's what's so weird about it, right? Is like when you look at darkness really objectively, cognitively and emotionally, it should actually sound pretty good. That's what's weird, right? Like that's the moral dilemma that we're actually in. That's the battle between good and evil. That's the battle between dark and light. It's like this really emotionally compelling argument,
right?
That like, you ever notice that God makes your life more challenging sometimes? Like, do you ever wonder if this place could just be significantly better? Mm-hmm. Like, so do we. Like, that's our ideological argument here, is that if we got together and we decided what was good, we could create an experience that was good all the time for all of us. Mm-hmm. Like, how can you say that is evil? Right? There's this passion to create a better good. That's darkness. Mm-hmm. It's just disconnected from the good that we already have built within us. And they're saying that good that's built within us is the problem.
Right.
That by design, we are flawed because we have this sense of goodness built within us that we need to learn to differentiate out,
right, so
that we can create something that's actually good in experience. It's a very, very compelling argument. Very. And it should feel almost a little bit slippery. When you really come into contact with the actual logic of darkness, it should be a little bit slippery and a little bit compelling. Yep. Because that's the nuance of what we're actually dealing with here. It's not, there are these evil fucking beings and they're trying to kill everyone. It's not that. No. That's a cartoonish version. And it's trying to create an enemy that isn't real so that they are the heroes. Yep. Because they are going to be the heroes of this story. Yep. They are going to create world peace. They are going to create longevity in our health. They are going to create an emotional utopia. They are going to create a massively free and open system where all of our menial tasks are handled and completely automated by robotics and AI, well, not real AI, general AI, like where everything is handled and we get to just exist.
We can all have a Sophia
in a utopia, and we get to gather. We get to go to orgies. We get to eat the finest fucking foods. real health. And when I think about what darkness actually wants, and then I zoom back to all of these narratives and the fights that are happening now, it is weird. It is it's a mind fuck. Like I click between these two different perspectives, and it's hard actually for me to come all the way back to where we are now and to see exactly how the plan is going and where it goes. But it becomes more obvious when I come all the way back that the things that are happening right now, they're just for fucking show. They're just for show, and nobody believes that it's good. Nobody believes that killing everyone is good. Nobody believes that like having medicine that's not effective is good. Nobody actually wants that. That's what the conservative right truther Christian is saying right now, is there are people who are evil who want to kill everyone. And I think that's a naive perspective. I think they have darkness all wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think anyone wants that. Darkness wants good and light wants good. It's a battle of the goods.
It. Yeah. 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 Satan's good. Darkness, Satan.
Yeah.
It's good is very different than God's good.
Yeah. It's a much more understandable good though.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of see it. I know this is like a ridiculous example, but I see it in the Uber Eats and the DoorDash of it all. Like that's where I see darkness. I'm like, oh, we're already there. And like, we're going to go further into it than we'd like to admit. And I say that every time. And I don't know how that makes people feel.
Yep.
But when they start offering all this free cash, like most people are going to take it.
Fucking course.
Like you're going to say yes to your new card or your chip or whatever the fuck. Like people don't want to admit that, especially truth or patriot, conservative, spiritual, whatever thing people fall into.
And if there was a subsidy where a brand new electric car that was completely tracked and traced and could be shut off at any moment was like given to everyone in the United States, who's not going to take it?
Yep.
Who's not going to take it?
Yep. Even crypto, like the obsession with crypto, spiritual people in crypto, mainstream spiritual people in crypto is so weird to me. I'm like, can you not read the field?
It's wild.
Like, what's going on? It's also weird to me when mainstream spiritual people wear AirPods. I think that's fucking retarded.
I wear AirPods sometimes.
Fucking retarded. I hate it.
I know.
Read the fine print.
I know.
Track and trace. Like we're so much further in this thing of darkness, but it's for convenience because you don't want the string hanging around your ears. It's gotta be convenient and easy to listen to this audio book.
So true.
To listen to this garbage on the internet, this low frequency
Speaking
song.
of this garbage on the internet, I think I want to do a video on. I found this book, and I think it's actually written by AI. Now that I've looked deeper into it, I think it's an AI generated book that was published because it's also an AI voice that reads it, but it has 300,000 views. People are watching this shit, and it's called like the 33rd Degree Secrets. I think is the title of the book, and the subtitle's like how to use your mind to control reality or something like that. And I started listening, and I actually forgot what people believe. I realized that I completely forgot what spiritual people believe. I forgot what it actually is like, what the perspective is actually like from the inside. I completely forgot. I'm disconnected from it enough now that I completely forgot most of the beliefs. It's mind-boggling. So I do want to run through that, but it's a totally different thing.
We can do that for sure. I would love to do that. Are you going to do it by yourself, or do you want me there for reactions to offend the people?
No, I'm sure we'll do it together.
You just impart your knowledge?
I'll impart my knowledge on you, and you make faces that send people away.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. I can do that. I can excel at that, actually.
This shit's fascinating to me, though, where this actually goes.
Yes, because so there's manufactured outrage, right? Because we knew there was going to be some sort of injury that would go viral, and this is the one. This is the one. There's how many other ones have there been that hasn't been a peep? No virality whatsoever. Number one, because the person probably didn't document it because they were just in the trenches dealing with the shit is one piece of it. But there was bound to be a thing that went viral. If you read Spars, there's a girl that talks about, and she goes viral for talking about and connecting all the dots. And she made a cool interactive map that got a lot of attention. Anywho, So the storyline gets blown up in a way, intentionally so, because there was bound to be.
Yeah.
All it takes is one storyline.
It seems to be that way.
And then there's relief. Okay, so then there's like a subset of people that like come up with the outrage and the drama, and then they start talking about this thing that they weren't even talking about a day ago. And then it just becomes the whole focus. And then like, what about their life? Like they're just obsessed. They're obsessively checking the dad's Facebook because that's where all the videos are. But what if you just went to the dad? What if everyone just went to the dad's Facebook? Then you wouldn't have to. Anyway, whatever. You got a DIY, in my opinion. But then this person becomes the focal point of all of this stuff, and they start talking about something they weren't talking about before. And I think that's kind of weird, which is what I'm doing right now. And then there's relief. Like there's the relief thing is what's fascinating to me, because the relief is manufactured. Like the relief in these talking heads on the internet is manufactured because it's not real. You have to be able to find relief within yourself in the mundane, not in, because someone's New Hampshire and Tennessee are finally talking about geoengineering. They passed these bills, and it's like, what? Like it's weird. It's so weird to me because all I see it is that these people are controlled. They're massively controlled and psyoped using emotion, the black magic of it all, using emotional manipulation to elicit a reaction from people. And then they stay on this thread and they don't actually do what they're here to do, which is what? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you because I don't know, because they only seem to talk about the drama.
They only present as the thing that they're sharing, the thing that they're identifying with, that collective pocket. They might as well be that person.
Right. Well, and then that yes, it gets eyeballs, it gets money, it gets clicks, it gets all the things, all the accolades.
And all the while there's a sense that they're doing it independently, that they're fighting the system, that they're getting censored, that they have an enemy that's working against them, that darkness is working against them. Right? Like it's wild, this mechanism that seems to be set up where these people are playing the exact role they are designed to play.
Yeah. And it all has
and they believe that they're working against the thing that they're working for.
Yeah.
That is a mind fuck.
Right. Well, because most people's perspective doesn't go 8 layers out or even 2 layers out, because it's all emotional manipulation. Nobody's thinking like, oh shit, let me pause, let me check in, let me ask if this is here for me to talk. Like, I am the anti-vax queen. That's my handle. Like, shouldn't I be talking about this thing? Like, why am I getting no guidance that would be like, oh my God, the backlash from people. Why aren't you talking about this? Your handle is @anti-vax queen. Like, what's wrong with you? You should be talking about this. Like, you're doing her a disservice by not sharing her story. Like, you would get inundated and crushed. And are you strong enough to trust your own access and what the guidance that you're getting to not play a character?
And the answer is no, because you're already playing a character.
Right. I don't know who.
As made evident by your Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is tricky.
It's leading people somewhere, because like where's that place? Like the 1984 but present day iteration of that. Where is it leading the collective thought?
Yep.
Because like, yes, it's sowing discord, and like there's the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers. Like, we know that. But like, where does that even go? Because does it get to this place, which is what you were saying in the car? Does it get to this place of like, oh, well, you know what? Actually, the anti-vaxxers were right back in the day, like but now
100%.
But now, now we've come out with this new technology, and like, see how it's better. And then the anti-vaxxers, they feel heard because they were, the relief was there. So it's like, oh, you know what? Now we're using Mullen. I actually took some this morning. Like, we're using Mullen, and that's helping. But then it's like, what kind of Mullen is this?
Yeah.
Just have some questions.
These people that we're talking about would hate this podcast, would fucking hate it, because what we're saying is that they are being utilized to reset the ideology of the population. They are puppets. and they are playing for the thing that they say they are working against.
I know, and they don't know it.
They have no idea. But let's think about this. If you are going to change the ideology of the entire population, how do you do it? It starts with a resistance movement.
Yep.
You need someone to call out the current system. That resistance movement then needs to build and hit a critical mass where then the demands of that resistance movement are heard, acknowledged, and they change the mainstream. Then everyone homogenizes into the thing that you were trying to take it to anyway.
Exactly.
That's how this works.
Yep.
That's how a reset works.
Yes, exactly.
The idea that the people who are leading the resistance movement today are not players for the actual dark agenda is fucking crazy, whether or not they think they are, regardless of whether they are free agents, in quotes. Psychologically, they are being pigeonholed into an identity it's a character that was predefined, and it doesn't matter who plays it. That's how well this thing is constructed. Is all you have to do is create the incentive structures and create the archetype ahead of time, and there will be someone who's willing to play that role. It's like you're casting. It is an open casting call. And there are people who are willing to play those things, and you can feel the opening internally. You can see the opportunity as it happens of, I could be that resistance movement leader. You can feel and I felt every single collective event that happened through 2020, through all of it. I was like, I could play that role. I could play that role. I could play that role. I could be the guns guy now. I could do this. I could do this. I could play this role. I saw the opportunities and the dollar signs pass me by. Those are the casting calls. Those are the etheric, psychological, emotional. Those are the casting calls, the energetic casting calls. And they come on by, and the idea that nobody takes those is fucking crazy, because you see them. You see them still playing that role today. Why? Because it works, because their incentive structure, their entire life is now completely organized around that casting call, around that identity, that thing that was predefined for them from the very beginning. And it's justified because their role is to fight the system. But the system is designed to change right now. We're in the time where the system is designed to change. That is the design. We're moving toward a dark utopia, not toward a dark dystopia. The dark dystopia is a psychological placeholder for us to push off of toward the thing that was by design from the beginning.
Exactly. You know what's fascinating too, as I'm thinking, so there's all these like holistic moms that I follow that are like adamantly holistic, non-toxic, superior.
Yep.
And they've had so many health complications with their children, like stuff at birth, just through pregnancy, like just all of these things that are horrific and rare. I feel like they're more normal. It's becoming more normal, all these rare events. But it's funny because they've had to turn to mainstream medical for help and like life support, or depending on what was going on. And it's just interesting because I can see God, I can see divine intervention like fucking with their brain in that moment, because it's like, wait, you're Miss Holistic Ho Mama, like, and now your child is
at Holistic Ho Mama.
Yeah, I don't think that's taken.
I don't think that's taken either.
It might be now. Go scoop it up. But then they have to like basically retract a bunch of all the shit that they've said, because now they're like in the ICU with their newborn baby.
Now I've realized that here's the latest health thing. Yeah.
But like in those moments, I think you have to turn to God, because it's like, wait a second, like I was anti all of this. I like denounced the hospital, and now here I am sitting in it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to make sense of all that when you identify as the red light, holistic, non-toxic.
Yeah, because you believe you're on the cutting edge and you're healthier than everybody else. And when things go wrong for you, they shouldn't. Things shouldn't go wrong for you.
Right.
Because you're healthier than everybody else. Things should go wrong for all the people that you shame constantly.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But it's a trip, right? Because what do we really fucking know about health?
Yeah.
What do we know about health at all?
We don't. We're like everyone is bumbling their way through.
Yeah.
And to think that there's an expert out there is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, even just the conversation about cholesterol alone
is such a trip.
And that our body naturally produces cholesterol. And if our cholesterol is high, it's our body's way of saying, like, basically, like, hey, something's off here. The cholesterol is helping to fix it.
Yeah.
Not that the cholesterol is too high and this is bad. We need to lower it with Crestor.
Yeah.
Some demon medication named Crestor. Ridiculous. But, like, what are people being taught? I mean, up until recently, I don't even know. But within, like, the last, like, few years, the food pyramid was still being taught in college nutrition classes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy. So, like, yeah, what do we actually know about health? And then it gets into those, like, weird places of, like, okay, so say, because there is a narrative, and I can't remember where it was, but I do remember reading it, about eventually, it's in the SGs, is it SDG? Sustainability Development Guide. It's that whole thing. There's, like, all those different pillars, and they're all different colors. There's something in there about eventually it'll get to the point where doctors are prescribing spinach, which is high in oxalates, which doctors will be prescribing spinach instead of medicine to help with blank. So that's where I see, like, when you talk about the homogenization of things in the future, that's where it like then the holistic tincture, mullein tincture people like myself will be validated in that future, but it's like, where's the mullein coming from, and, like, what is that mullein, and is it the same mullein that was grown in 2024? Like, is that or what are we talking about now? Like, it's the same thing with weed. Like, the shit you're smoking today ain't the shit I was smoking in high school. There's no fucking way. So it's the same, like, that. I think the cannabis industry is a great placeholder for where all of this is going. And then so many people love cannabis. They're all about it. It's crazy. I'm like, why do you want to be in that altered state? Like, what is so bad with your life that you need that? Like, you don't see that shit as toxic and poison, and, like, you're not thinking about what it's doing to you and what are the long-term effects. It's calming my anxiety.
It makes me anxious for 4 hours straight and retarded, but then afterwards I feel smarter and clearer because I'm no longer anxious and made retarded.
It's the comparison.
It's like I put on really tight shoes, and when I took them off, my feet felt great.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my feet feel so good today. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the shit I've never heard anybody talk about these things.
No. Me either.
Everything just stays so stuck.
Vols, David, about the weed. Thanks, man. Been working hard on it, prototyping.
Jokes. Hi, Emil.
Hello. Yeah, I mean, I think about the future of the narratives, right? And it seems like all of these alternative pockets will win. By design, 100%. Right? Yes. So we will be healthier. The medical industry seems like it's going to go through a pretty massive revolution, because I think the younger generation already doesn't trust the mainstream medical industry, which means they've a lot their future revenue gone. They don't have future revenue right now. They're going to need to pivot in order to stay in control over health as authorities.
Right.
Because otherwise, all of these, like, health juice mama on Instagram is going to be the health authority. That's not fucking okay.
Oh God.
She can be a puppet to drive people in the direction that then is going to be consolidated and controlled later. Right. That's okay. But you can be damn sure health fucking juice mama on Instagram, she's going to be irrelevant in 20 years. Completely irrelevant. She's going to be doing something else. She'll be Crypto Queen 427. She'll be on to the next fucking movement that's being controlled, because there will be a new opening, a new energetic opening, a new opportunity. Casting call from darkness. Hey, we have this archetype for you to play. Oh my God, if you would like to be a part of the rebellion,
yes, exactly.
Come fight us so that we may take the collective in a new direction.
A new direction. My favorite line.
I know, me too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, okay, intense. And then the other piece of it too is, like, the petrochemicals, the oil.
That shit's gonna run out.
Right. There's only so
Well,
many
maybe, who knows,
dinosaurs.
right?
There's so
It's not from dinosaurs. But yes. Yeah.
I know.
The idea is that it's going to run out, but we're transitioning anyway.
Well, and then what is it? What byproduct are they going to get people to take as a means of health?
I don't know. I think everything's going fucking hemp. We're going to have hemp straws. We're going to have hemp fucking everything, right? And we're, because plastic straws are already out. The idea of plastic cups already going out. Like, people know now that when you go to Starbucks, you have like 250,000 fucking parts per million of microplastics floating around in your shit from the lining inside of it, right?
You always hated Starbucks because it tasted like plastic.
It tastes like plastic. I can taste the plastic for whatever reason. My tongue is very sensitive. I have a very sensitive tongue, my love. And I can taste the plastic. And if there's the tiniest little bit of soap in my cup, I can fucking taste it. It's
true.
Gross. I have to wash my cups after they come out of the dishwasher by hand, by squish inside. I have to rinse them out, or else I taste soap and I can't fucking drink it. I have a very, very sensitive to chemicals. Smell too. We'll be walking around. I am exhaling 95% of the time we were out and about.
I know.
That shouldn't even be right? That should be impossible. I have to breathe really quickly.
He's being dramatic, obviously.
Yeah, but it feels like that.
Anytime we walk by someone, he goes, out, not, they're out sniffs, not in
when
sniffs.
we're on a path, we're outdoors, and I cannot inhale when I'm within 10 feet of a person.
People smell, and he's like...
I'm like, I wouldn't know because habitually now, anytime I walk past someone, I go...
I know, and I habitually smell them.
It's like a 20-second exhale to get me out of that range.
Yeah.
And then I inhale, and I can still smell them.
I know. Well, you could get the initial sniff, and then, like I do, I'm like, oh man, and it's bad. It's always bad. It's never. Wild. It's not BO. It's like chemicals.
Chemicals.
Chems.
Those are the real chemtrails.
Yeah, I know. Those people.
Yeah.
Wafting.
Just their fucking synthetic plastic hormones.
Tell me what you guys think about all this. Like, do you think about this?
Yeah, is this your guys' perspective too? This is all we fucking think about.
Isn't it odd that like there's things that are going mainstream now, and like why? Like, do you think about that? Like, you're like, why is Candace talking about this? And like, why is like, what's his name? Russell Brand. Why is he Christian now? Oh no, he's been baptized. He's been dunked in tap water.
And there are people who seem to understand. Like, I'll read through the comments about Russell Brand's conversion to Christianity from Christians, and there are some people that are like, no. Like, he's now saying that Jesus is a messianic figure, but like from a very new age perspective. Like, he's still very new age and like occult, but now he's just weaving in Jesus into that story. It's like, there are people that are like, don't be deceived by this bullshit. Like, don't start believing what he believes, because he's not what you are. Right. Some people see that. But most people don't.
I know. There's someone else. Well, because then the other thing, this is how they get the Christians. Who's that girl? Kat Von D.
Chelsea. Yeah, I agree.
What did Chelsea say?
Controlled alternatives narratives make sense from a dark agenda perspective. Emil. And Chelsea says, yeah, the Jew thing too. I know. That's wild to me that Candace Owens was reporting on it. That's wild. That one really stuck out to me too.
And that one missed me.
Well, so there's basically the way that I track it, and this is just my pulse on culture. Kanye West went on Alex Jones and brought Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes and Kanye started talking about the Jews. Kanye got all the flack, and Nick Fuentes blew the fuck up in the alt conspiracy theorist thing. So now he has a huge following, and he seems to be one of the main voices in like the Jesuits ruling that's like his. Okay. That's his thing. But Candace Owens did a piece, I think, on how Hitler's not that bad.
Oh, Candace.
Just out of nowhere. Out of fucking nowhere.
Did you watch Europa?
I don't know. But yeah, she did a thing on how I think how the narratives about Hitler aren't true. And it's like, wait, that's a weird Candace Owens? You know, but she's friends with Kanye and she runs in the same circles,
so
and
there's the connections. Off and justify stuff. Like that's weird. Like, okay, so Kat Von D, makeup artist, I think she had a falling out with Jeffree Star. I don't know the drama, but I do love Jeffree.
The noticing. Is that what they call it, Chelsea?
Or that's what you call it? people
or are
noticing.
you noticing?
Wait, let me tell you. So Kat Von D. So now
the tattoo
yeah.
girl from back in the day?
Tattoo. Yeah. So now she's Christian too.
Okay. She had a falling out with Jeffree Star, right? Back in the day,
Yes,
like that
yes,
Kat Von D?
Yes.
Okay.
So
okay.
I said all that already. See, he listens loosely. We have to rewind the tape.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now that I said it, I can hear that you said
hear
that.
that I said it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's embarrassing.
Let
but
me
it's
impart
fine.
my knowledge.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, so Kat Von D, she's Christian, but people want to believe it. People,
Yeah,
because they're like, well, as Christians, we can't denounce her. We need to welcome her in.
yeah.
But I'm like, y'all are retarded, because that's like the compassionate Christian thing to do, is to not judge the other person for being a fucking Satanist infiltrating.
Yeah, Christians just seem to not realize that there is a cultural Christianity being built, and there are figures being exalted right now to take over control over the Christian church and the Christian mind.
They did back in the day.
Yeah, instead of the Pope, now we have Russell Brand.
Exactly.
Instead of the bishops, now we have Kat Von D.
Exactly.
Instead of the religious scholars, now we have Jordan Peterson, and they are going to completely homogenize the Christian faith.
People are going to, oh my God, how come they didn't see it coming?
Uh-huh.
What do you mean you didn't know that the whatever? Who was it that infiltrated all the religions? The Khazarians. That they infiltrated.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what to think about that shit anymore.
Allegedly.
But yeah, allegedly.
In the alternative narrative, I guess, perhaps. And then you would be like, how did they not notice? And we're living the not noticing right now.
Yes.
Like, people aren't noticing. They're completely blinded to it. Like, even when I commented on George Janko's podcast that Russell Brand is an actor and he's acting as a Christian, and the fact that you guys can't see this is alarming. You know, obviously nobody liked it. Didn't get any engagement whatsoever. But just today,
I thought you were going to say you got pushed back, but no, just silence, dead
nothing.
Silence, right? That's more the reality.
But today, George shared on his stories, or yesterday, the picture of him and Russell Brand from that podcast.
Yeah,
I was like, damn it.
Yeah, and George likes it because Russell Brand's huge.
Well, right, and Russell Brand's recommending that people listen to George's podcast because him and his fiance are such a good Christian couple, and blibbity bloppity blue. And I do actually believe that George believes in God and is 100%. Like an actual Christian.
Oh yeah.
And then they are just like attacking the fuck out of him, and he has no idea. He'd be better off with Logan Paul, who's like a real fucking dark entity and interfaces with some dark ass shit.
No, I agree. He's in murkier waters now than he was before.
Yes. Because he can't even see the murk. He could at least see the murk with Logan and put him in his place, and they had.
But now he's being used as a puppet.
Yes.
As a straight on puppet to corral the ideology of the collective.
Yes.
It is sad.
Yes. 100%. 100%.
I asked God, give me the heart of David. Honestly, I can't fake it. I don't know. But honestly, it says honestly for 4 fucking times. It bothers me every time.
Yeah.
But honestly, United States ain't united at all. But honestly, we're so divided, y'all.
Okay. What did Ben say? I saw a clip of him praying, Russell Brand, and I felt immediately uncomfortable. Like, really? Yeah, I know. He's summoning the demons. Because he ain't praying to God. It's the same God that people talk about. It's not. It's the grand old devil, G-O-D. That's what it is. It's not.
Grand old devil's got a plan for you. Fallen. What?
Go ahead. I wish people could sing along, but nobody knows our.
I know. Nobody watched FNN back then. But now we have a playlist on the second paradigm.
Should you play that one?
Down.
Let's play it. Let's stream it.
Your soul.
Let's watch this together. Let's have a flashback. It's appropriate because it's about voting. And
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We need to
Wow,
make sure.
honey. We need to make sure that we get this video out there. The truth. It is the truth. Okay, let me pull up this. I gotta go to screen share.
Chelsea, what do you mean the noticing? Black. You need to say more.
Yeah, I know. I'm curious too.
Chelsea, you need to say more.
Faded.
Did you get your package yet? Probably not. Too soon.
Down goes your soul.
Can they see this?
Yep, they can see me moving things around and bumbling.
Okay.
That's fine, probably. And how are we? We're probably good, right? Should I just drop us right about here?
That's fine.
All right. Thanks for bearing with us, friends. Okay, so now when you go to... No, it's home.
Oh.
This is our live always pops up on the top, but yeah, we have live now, videos, book reviews, Intuition OS, live streams for fun. And now this is the section that I just filled out recently, which I love. This fucking gold. I still like this.
It's so bad. It's good.
It's so fucking uncomfortable, but it's my kind of humor.
Yes.
My kind of fucking humor. Paradise Valley. Yeah. Very good. This is actually the first episode right behind the trailer. Staying Safe by Miriam if you haven't seen this. Also gold.
69
Gotta
views.
watch
Don't watch it. I like having
Gotta
69
watch it. That's
there.
true. Yeah. Don't you dare watch it.
Don't change that.
Okay. It's not the new magic pill. It's not live with Jalixones.
Get out and vote. There
it's Get Out and Vote.
Okay.
Here we go.
You guys ready?
58 views. Obviously, you guys have seen it because it has so many views. But let's watch this together. It's a little
redundant to watch it together.
Oops. Sorry, I was watching it earlier. If I go full screen, that's probably correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little. Let me. Yeah, it's probably right about there. Yep.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to the premiere.
Hopefully you can hear it.
FNN. Oh, they should be able to.
Okay.
I can double check real quick.
Emil will tell us anyway.
No, yeah. You'll be able to hear it. Although it was -12, so let me pull it to like minus.
But then maybe turn it down for us. It's kind of loud.
It's probably there. It's just loud on our speakers because it's all the way up.
I see.
All right. Sorry for the delay. This fucking tech is difficult sometimes.
From FNN Live, it's your 5 o'clock news at 5 with your witty and highly
hold on, it's turned down here.
Anchor Larry Chestnut and your co-anchors, the charming intellectual Joaquin Shadowheart and up-and-coming network news star Christine Emptyhead. With the weather, the always bright, never cloudy Sally Sunshine.
Ooh, I love her.
This is Paradise Valley.
She's my favorite.
Fake news at 5. Welcome to the Fake News Live at 5. We received a letter today from Dr. William Fence, excuse me, Mr. William Fence, reminding us to have a chat about the importance of the election this year. So before we dive into our regularly scheduled news, here's a quick message from our sponsor.
Use your voice to say what we want you to. Speak your truth. Just make sure it's our truth too. In God we trust to make up your mind for you. That grand old devil's got a plan for you. Falling,
Are you ready to get back in line for this election cycle? The voting booths are opening tomorrow for the United Socialist States of America. In God we trust. So vote our way because you must.
Down, down, down goes your soul.
Damian Davis Pharmaceuticals.
Remember, it's more important than ever to get out there and vote.
There you go.
That's what we were doing in 2020.
Yep.
It was probably fine. Who knows?
What?
Close enough. I think it was fucking dragged around.
Oh, man. It's like so deeply dark and layered.
Yeah. I still like it.
Oh.
I'm really proud of that. That's what we did during 2020. Yeah. That whole thing.
I know.
FNN into Paradise Valley. Because we shat on everything that was happening and then we shat on the community we came from. It was like back to fucking back.
That's true.
We just took the biggest dump of our lives.
Yeah. Two
back to back. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, lots of negative comments.
Really?
Yeah.
On that show?
Oh, specifically on FNN. People were like, how dare you make fun of the BLM movement? And because we were like fighting for Canadian equality. Like we had all of these
yes.
we had all these digs into all the movements at the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
It was like very smart humor. I don't know that you actually like have to really listen, like God, and see that it's spaced out with periods, and then hear the next verse of Grand Old Devil.
Grand Old Devil. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta really think about it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's how layered everything is.
And then like Fallen with the angels, the angel statue. Mm-hmm. Fallen angels. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how we think about everything.
Yeah.
But then it also was kind of eerie to me because I was like, oh my God, like this is so easy. Like this is so easy to like manipulate people and get them to think what you want and like put out a narrative. And like, even though, I mean, we were doing a scripted show, obviously, but like, I don't know. It was just weird. It really shined light on mainstream media, at least for me at the time. Because I was like, wait, they're making up everything. And they're like flashing images and showing us stuff. And like, we have like no say. Like, we're just consuming it. Like, that's weird.
I moved the camera and you moved the exact distance. Really? I moved the camera. Oh. It's like you look at yourself so that you can position yourself right here.
Do I?
I don't know. Because you can see yourself.
Yeah.
But it's funny. This is your favorite spot, is right here.
Well, it's right here, not right there.
No, in frame.
Oh,
in frame.
Yeah,
is that video on your public YouTube? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Well, it's on Paradise Valley. It's not on our. It's not on our YouTube channel. It's on the Paradise Valley YouTube channel. But the playlist is on ours. The playlist is on ours. I know. I thought about re-uploading, but I didn't want to, so I just dropped them all in that playlist. That video is on, and then you can click in on there, and then you can see all the FNNs. I think there's 7 of them, and I chose like the favorite 3 or 4. And then Miriam's song's on there too, but nobody watch it.
Keep it at 69. Thank you.
Staying safe from the corona. Don't know yo. You're protesting black lives.
I mean, that was weird. You know, you didn't get COVID if you protested BLM.
That was true. That was a thing that was happening.
I'll get it to 96.
All right. Butt to butt.
Butt to butt. Hey, you guys ever 96?
just lay backwards.
Just back to back. Butt to butt. That's awesome.
Head on feet.
Yeah, that's funny. It was fun to do. Yeah, it does seem it's something to look back on and definitely be proud of, especially for that time. I mean, it was so ballsy that I wore like a Trump hat and that I even did that song.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wore a Trump hat everywhere for a while. I went into a gas station and Miriam said that this guy was fucking looking me up and down all angrily, but I was like 3 feet taller than him, so he didn't do anything.
Yeah, obviously. But it's like, that's weird. That's weird that the red hat elicits anything. Like that's some deep ass programming. Yeah,
people either hated it or were like, "Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?" It was like very chummy or very like.
Yeah, we were at a rest stop and David and I both had our red hats on, and these 2 ladies were like, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me!" Like, nope, we're not.
Oh, I don't remember that. That's funny.
Nope, not. Howdy, miss. Not
falling. Get back in line and vote. That was my favorite. Are you ready to get back in line and vote?
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah, the layers.
The double
layers
entendre.
Of meaning. Yeah. And for the longest time, we were singing out of nowhere. We'd all be in the kitchen and we'd be like, down, down, down goes your soul.
Yeah. There's all these little songs we made during that time that I like my voice in, and like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is music that I liked. But like the actual song is like, it's like a parody of Darkness. And I'm like, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I like my voice in that one.
Yeah.
It's real like belty. It's more of my like ballad voice versus my like Pete Terry's voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's less of the like.
Those are very good.
A little less soul, a little more ballady.
Very, very good. And we could do like a watch party some night.
Yeah, watch all of them.
Watch the Paradise Valley. I would do that.
You would watch all of Paradise Valley?
I think so. Yeah, I wouldn't watch FNN. I don't know. I just hate who I was in FNN. I was like this I could do ladies, and I didn't like it. I like to just be myself.
I know.
It's like hard to play a character.
But then you watched it back and you like it.
Well, then I thought
every time you watch it back and you like it.
Someone needs to sign me up for Netflix. I'm an amazing actress.
And then when you haven't seen it for like 2 weeks, then you go back to your same script where like, I'm a dyke dude and I was so fucking ugly and I did such a terrible job. And then you watch it and you're like, oh my God, that was so fucking funny. Sally Sunshine's hilarious. Well, you did a great job.
Well, I actually got angry.
You did a great job.
I just hated doing it. And then I just
threw your glasses.
Erupted in frustration.
And then you got canceled.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you got canceled and then you got shamed in the next episode because they're like, Sally Sunshine was seen talking to Jalix Owens.
I know, I was like, 7G's coming and it's melting your internal
like organs. As if I looked good in my $4 Goodwill suit with the same wig you wore. I look like a fucking buffoon.
We did wear the same
I look
wig.
so stupid.
I know.
It's not like I was like dapper.
Yeah, but you were charming intellectual.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, continue, guys. Say more. You guys need to talk more.
Say more.
You need to talk more. Tell us. Do you think about this stuff too? Do you think of like where it's going and how people don't seem to like? There's a stopping. Like people just stop.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just. Yeah.
This is what makes me appreciate the second paradigm. Is these exact conversations, because.
What do you think about, Emil?
Oh. I think about it, but you guys think further about it.
Well, you think further about it.
I feel less called to think about it as much as you guys do. It's just not here for me to.
But I always find it interesting.
I always find it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense because I think about this stuff. I think because it's so foundational to the second paradigm ideology at large. And I think this is what makes me appreciate the second paradigm and all of the work that's come through. And this is what validates it for me too. Like, oh yeah, we're like on some good shit. Is because we have our whole ideological framework. And within the ideology itself, it's very consistent. Mm-hmm. It's like there's a real-time personal connection to God, and it maps to our experience, which first off is fucking nuts in and of itself. To have an ideology that maps to the actual experience of life as it's playing out, where you don't need to be positive, you don't need to get in some state for it to work, you don't need to like think about it just the right. It's like it maps. Mm-hmm. It describes what's already happening. Yeah. It doesn't describe something that would be great if you just do it the right way. It's not a strategy to get out. Mm-hmm. It describes what's already happening. Number one, what I love about the second paradigm. Number two is I can use the ideology and then look at the world and I understand things better.
Yeah.
Like even the idea that darkness is trying to create a utopia, if I don't have that idea, if that wasn't a core foundational, not necessarily foundational, but that wasn't a core idea of the second paradigm, if that wasn't something that already came through, I don't think I could make sense of any of this.
Well, right. No, you can't. I don't think you can.
Because I would have no idea. Like if I was just trying to feel where this is going, I'd be like, man, I don't know. I mean, are all the anti-vaxxers going to get like stomped out? Like, man, they must be in danger. Like they're so brave. Like I would come up with some bullshit. Because I wouldn't be able to connect the dot that it's all a part of a plan. Mm-hmm. Because I wouldn't see where it's ultimately trying to go. But it's like I have just enough context about what darkness ultimately wants that I can make sense of things way back here in our time. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know, it's a weird way to say it, but it's like I can come back in time to where we are right now and go, oh, that tracks. Mm-hmm. Like that, I would probably do the same thing if I was darkness.
Right. I think that willingness too to put in the darkness glasses is helpful.
Put on the darkness glasses?
Yeah, and like see.
Yeah, I know. You got to kind of step in their shoes a little bit to understand what they really want.
Mm-hmm. Yes, hundo. Wait, Emil said something. Emil said it feels true when I hear you guys talk about it on these subjects. And then Chelsea said, I think about it, especially when I see all the new normie passengers on the Trump train as if it were 2015. They don't even know what they missed. Oh, and especially when they think liking Trump in 2024 is edgy.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he's no longer really that polarizing.
No.
And even in his character, he's changing. And the Republicans are talking about it. Like, Trump just needs to play it cool and appeal to a larger audience. That's like a part of his whole campaign. Now his thing is he's comparing himself to Ronald Reagan.
I know.
You notice that?
Well, and the Ronald Reagan movie came out, I guess, too. So there's like a push for,
Oh,
I'm sure,
I
movie
see.
views. I don't know.
Yeah, we're getting to like Reagan
I
politics.
know,
It's
so
really
weird.
odd to me.
So many nods to Reagan.
So many. And during the RNC, that was the number one thing I noticed. They said
know.
Reagan like 6 times, and I didn't watch very much.
Even on the podcasts that I've seen him on, because I watch all the cultural podcasts that Trump's on, or I listen. There's so many Reagan references. What is this? And
yeah, Emil says he's pretty polarizing around his parents. They're still horrified that I won't condemn him completely. Yeah, but like polarizing for Republicans and just general, like before, man, Trump was, if you wore that Trump hat, if you said you liked Trump, it was like you were going to get punched in the face. Now it's like, I don't completely respect your views, but that's a different fucking energy today. Anyway, what were you saying?
Nothing. I can see people still having like a visceral reaction though, because the programming is so deep, especially in New England.
Yeah.
That's true. Now he's
like every other Republican that the Democrats dislike completely just for being Republican. Yeah. Which is what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, because he's so much more mild in his character.
So much more by design.
Yes. I know. I went on Twitter today. Chelsea, did you see this? I went on Twitter and it was like Alex Jones was talking about the 3rd assassination attempt. And I was like, 3rd? I read it like 4 times and then I clicked into it.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
And it was an ad. Pixar, it didn't happen. I don't know. It was just weird. I was like, what is going on? I was like, do they just keep repeating these? The absurdity of it all is I don't know. Didn't see that. Maybe it didn't happen.
Elon's getting canceled right now.
By
well,
who?
I feel like he's always getting canceled. He's just in a perpetual
The
state
Democrats
of cancel.
hate him, but then they drive his Tesla, so it's like
there's something about that he's inciting something. Watch it get to 33 attempts.
Oh my god!
Oh, this is the 33rd attempt here on the president's life. Donald Trump. We have him here on the phone
at the inauguration.
Oh god, that's what I thought was going to happen. That's why I watched it at the Chopra Center.
Yeah.
Got in trouble.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought the same thing.
Okay, what were you going to say?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Who, me? Who? What was Hui going to say? It's a Kathy.
Your birth name?
Yeah, that's the name that Ben gave Kathy.
Hui.
I don't know what I was going to say. I don't think I had a thought.
No, you did. You had a thought.
No, you did have a thought.
You did. He had a thought. Do you guys remember it? I don't remember it. You were pulling on a thread.
What, Elon?
Yeah, he's getting canceled.
Yeah, that was kind of the end of it.
Oh, that was the thought?
Yeah, that was the thought. I was just, you said Twitter.
Oh.
And then
I
went to my 5 minutes of experience on Twitter.
It's just all like, it's just noisy. Like it's nothing. Like it's like, I saw a tweet from Elon that said,
Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy.
I was the thought.
Sorry. You still got it.
Still got it.
I was just saying, I was like, I miss Jeremy.
Yeah, like hours ago.
I said
hours ago.
Yesterday, yeah. I did say that.
Oh, I thought when we were
after
at
our live
lunch.
stream. No. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I've said it multiple times.
Yeah.
I just like your banter.
Uh-huh.
But I was going to say, I saw a tweet from Elon about like the importance of interplanetary civilization, whatever. I'm just like, I hate all this. But people like love it. Like they just like, they just eat it right up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. Big time. Big time.
I was the thought.
That's quick.
Funny. I know.
Quick and clever.
That was good. Oh, what else you got for us? What else do you have, David?
Well, I also think about this sometimes with I was thinking back at the title. It also was World War III was in there.
Oh yeah.
And I don't always have much
I'm
to
out
say
of the
about World
loop
War
on
III.
that.
Yeah, well there's not much of a loop. It's the same loop.
Is there like a draft? Like what is there?
No,
like
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything like that. It's just there's constant threat of war.
But that's like not new.
No, it's not new. It's not new. But I was just scanning.
Hmm.
Or I don't know, I added it to the title because I needed a third thing. Really, that's it.
Like a da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I knew we were going to talk about alternative health and politics. But I figured we would also, I just threw in World War III. But now come to think about it, I do wonder sometimes whether we're going into times of total chaos or whether Trump's going to get in. The alternative health movement wins.
Mm-hmm.
There's global peace. And all the things that the right is fighting for right now get addressed. Everyone thinks they won.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe like fucking trans rights are a thing, you know? Like maybe everyone wins. Like I really wonder where this thing goes.
There. I don't have it.
And where it resolves.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Or does
because
it resolve?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm trying to feel out is like, when does it resolve? How does it resolve? Does it resolve? And it's hard to tell what they're trying to do with these narratives, but because we have that point, right, where eventually darkness is trying to create a utopia where everything is resolved and where we all believe compatible ideologies, civilization's fully functional, technology is advanced.
I know, and I can see where that place is fine.
Oh yeah.
And you take your somas, and anytime you feel a tinge of something, you mute it.
Yeah, like I wonder if we need these sort of resistance movements to like satiate our existential crisis, you know?
Yes, 100%.
Like maybe this is perpetual. Maybe it'll always be like this.
Yeah, well, right, because then as soon as you remove yourself from it, like when I just acknowledge that I'm not going to wear a mask in 2020, or when it wasn't about what other people did, definitely pissed me off, but like truly it wasn't, because it's like, okay, well, I'm not doing that, or like I'm not getting any of these injections, like I don't care what you do, like it's like what everybody else does becomes irrelevant.
Yeah.
But it feels like that goes against our programming, because we want to fit in, we want to be liked, we want to be.
Yep. That goes back to the idea of the purpose of the internet, because it's odd that what everybody wants on the internet is for everybody else to agree with them. Like they want to go viral, they want to become very popular, they want everyone else to agree with them. Like it's like what everyone's aiming for on social media is homogenized thought.
Yeah, they're doing it.
World peace and utopia will happen when everyone gets their 33rd booster. It's probably true. I think definitely. Yeah. Definitely that's what's coming.
That's what's missing. That's what we need.
Yeah, I just don't
man.
I don't know how deeply into actual existential threats we will go into. I just don't know. It's hard for me to tell where they're trying to take this right now. When I come all the way back to now, it's hard for me to tell where this is going.
It just kind of doesn't seem like it matters, because when I like zoom out and think of like past generations, like even just my grandma, she'd be horrified at what we're living with.
Oh, so much.
She didn't even want an answering machine.
Yeah.
She was like, if I'm not home, I'm not home. They'll have to call back.
Yeah.
And like my dad was like, no, Mom, we gotta get you with the times and get an answering machine.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, cards weren't really a thing then. She wrote like checks were a thing, I guess. Cash was the thing, but then checks. And like I think we're already living inside of one of their iterations of a utopia, a dark utopia. I think we're already, and I think that goes to some degree. I think that goes in perpetuity. And then the real thing here is, can you still maintain your connection to God?
Yep.
Like, are you still willing to listen to God no matter how dark it gets? Because it's going to continue to get darker. But it's the same standpoint that we were talking about on one of our inner solidity calls. Like, it's never actually going to feel better doing your life's work. Like, you don't have those peak states anymore. Like, I don't think we hit those like peak misery or dip, unpeak, valley. I don't think we hit those like miserable valleys. We're just going to continue on this path. But like, can we still find God in this existence no matter how dark it gets here? And comparing my grandma's life to this life and the darkness that's already transpired, like that's still going to continue. But it's not about changing any of that, I don't think. I think the change is happening in your own individual connection to God, because your very existence disrupts the whole fucking thing. And like that is the threat to darkness. You don't have to participate in any of their narratives. You don't have to get swept up in the drama and talk about the latest talking point. Like it's you living your life in communion with God, doing the things that are here for you, which are boring as fuck, no accolades, no recognition, wiping your kid's ass, cleaning up the vomit, doing the fucking dishes. Like it's that.
Yeah, way to bring it home. That's the real point here in all of this.
I never bring stuff home. I always bring it really far away. And you're like, how do I get this back? How do I oh, hold on.
No, you did it. Because that is it. That is the main point of all of this, right? When you look out into what the future of the narratives are, all of us are being homogenized, and all of the resistance movements and all of the things that make us feel as though light is winning, in quotes, like cognitively and emotionally, we feel like, wow, this is it. The collective is moving in the right direction. All of those things, in all likelihood, are just a part of the bigger play.
Exactly.
And we have to be able to acknowledge that, just so we don't get swept up in it. So we don't get too overly invested emotionally in what's coming and how things are going to play out. And so that we don't take on that identity ourselves and don't take those casting call opportunities from darkness to play a role that's not ours.
Right.
Because there are going to be 10 more opportunities in the next few years for us to play some character that gets collective affirmation.
100%.
Financial and social.
Yep.
And many of those roles will be playing for the light, in quotes.
It's literally the
white hats.
The white checker square. Yep. The white checker on the checkerboard. No, that's how I think of it. It's like they're controlling the entire checkerboard. Yeah. Like black and white.
Yeah. And I think the reality is much, feels more hopeless. When you're coming from that sense of utopia, of everything's going well and I'm playing on the winning team and look at me, I'm a fucking crypto girl, so I'm right on the cutting edge of the... When you're coming from that and you feel like you're creating a massive worldly impact, and then you see through it all, you come back to this place where it's like, well, then what the fuck do I do? What can I do? And that's it. That's reality. You just hit base reality.
Of hopelessness.
Yeah.
And helplessness.
Of how hopeless it actually feels here, of how much we're actually up against. Because the reality is, us as individuals are significantly weaker and less organized and much stupider than darkness. And I think it's important to admit that.
Oh, we don't want to admit that.
I think it's important to admit that.
Hashtag mainstream spiritual people.
Darkness is better at thinking, and darkness is better at black magic and energetic control. Energetic dominance, is better at maintaining and holding a field, is better at getting through protections. Darkness is better spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically than we are as an individual. If we don't admit that, we're going to be fucking forever duped. But when you admit that, there's a sense of hopelessness. There's a sense of like, what? But that means I'm fucked. And say, no. That only means you're fucked if you're on your own, but you're not, because this thing you have inside of you is a real-time personal connection to God, and God is real. God isn't Yahweh. of fucking Hebrews and Genesis. God's the actual, some people call it their conscience, but that's minimizing it. That's reducing it to a biological bullshit. There's a deep, deep, deep inner wisdom, and it is an intelligence that's hierarchically significantly smarter and better at us than everything. Blows our intelligence out of the water, blows our foresight out of the water, and is good. And all it wants for us is for us to become who we actually are as a soul, because that was the initial design of reality. All God wants for us is to become the fullest expression of who we are, because that was the initial design of reality, is for us as a soul to interface with other souls who are also the fullest expression of them, and through a collective agreement, see how reality pans out. And everything learns from that. We're not even close to that point right now. We're not at the collaborate as whole sovereign beings phase of Earth. There are a few beings that are better at us than at everything, that are controlling everyone, including us.
Better at it?
Better at everything than everyone. Darkness is better at everything than everyone. So why is that so confusing? It sounds fucking crazy coming out of my mouth. It sounds like grammatically incorrect. Darkness better at everything than everyone. Like I'm a fucking Chinese boy trying to I just came to America and I'm trying to instill my Eastern values onto the Western world. I just can't speak. Darkness is the better than every thing and the one and the blue sky. I just think it's really important to admit that darkness is better than us.
There you go. That was the word that was
is
missing.
Better than us at spirituality, at understanding where the ship is going, at making an impact here, at influencing culture, at getting fame, at creating the world from their mind. Darkness is better at all of these things than us. The only thing we have is God. That's it. And that's where that hopelessness has to resolve. And the idea that we have anything other than God that we can come at darkness with, we're fucking idiots. We can't even get together and beat darkness. We can't. They're too fucking organized. There is a massive etheric hierarchy. There are so many fucking individual souls working together in organized hierarchies, and they've been at this for thousands of years. They've been at this for so fucking long. The idea that we are going to come together as even 100,000 people and have some revolution and fucking take this place for light, it is just not, it's impossible. We lose every fucking time. The only thing we have is God. And right in that paradox of complete hopelessness, there is unbelievable hope. And it's the only hope that's real. And if we can't be grounded in that, we're going to get duped. We're going to get fucking casted. We're going to get casted for a role that was predetermined by that hierarchy. And we're going to think we were doing good. And that is the saddest fucking life of all. That is a Vietnamese accent, Jeremy. I'm glad.
Way to call it the racism. That was good.
Glad it comes across.
You said you're a Chinese boy and you did your Vietnamese accent.
That's true. That's true. I don't know a good Chinese accent. I'm actually half Japanese, and I cannot do it. I don't go that way. I go to Vietnamese woman for whatever reason. That's my go-to fucking thing. Vietnamese female. Okay, Chelsea said, and what you said in the video the other day, David, there's nothing left to cling to emotionally.
Also read her, Miriam, totally 100.
Yeah, Miriam, totally 100.
But yes. Yeah, there's nothing left to cling to emotionally. She said that earlier. Yeah,
because the things we're clinging to are lies. And most of the things we're clinging to are images that are crafted in the future by darkness for us to cling to shape and drive us in a very specific direction.
A new direction, some would say.
Yeah.
Well, that's the very thing that we talk about, where darkness just wants to keep you out of the way.
Yeah.
So if you're answering the casting call that was put out by Craigslist demon
Yeah.
user demon
Yeah,
774, then
Well, that's even better than getting out of the way. That's helping them.
well,
They
yeah,
they want you to get on board or get out of the way.
fair.
Get back in line or get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is why they want
But then
all
I
of the
guess
intuitive people
I
to
say-
be mentally challenged.
I say get out of the way because
Yeah.
then you're not doing your life's work. You're out of the way.
Oh, 100%.
in that
100%.
sense.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
never actually bring through what you're here to bring through.
Yeah.
Because you're just scanning the collective field for the latest trend.
Yeah, but then you get repurposed, right? Like you get Ollie London, right? Like you go from being like the transracial to being
the single transracial in the dome.
only transracial on the internet. Trans Korean pronouns, Jimin from BTS, fucking identified as another person.
Yeah.
Going from the transracial to then going to a conservative talking head. It's that. Like you get completely repurposed.
Yep.
And darkness would prefer that, but they'll settle for you being mentally unstable because you're trying to create a reality that is impossible. And you think that the reason why you can't do it is because something you're doing wrong. They're more than willing to settle to keep you there.
I got lost.
New Age spirituality.
From the top. Sorry.
They're more than willing to have you just be mentally unstable and create your own mental illness through spirituality. They're willing to have you be there because then you're out of the way.
Yeah.
But they would prefer for you to take one of their etheric Craigslist ads to play a very specific role. They would much prefer for you to lead the resistance movement.
Yeah.
In the direction that they're trying to actually take this thing.
Yeah, and I don't think it's so deep. Like a lot of people are like, I don't know, some people out there will say like Shanda from Instagram that she's a Fed. People think she's a Fed because she talks about all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
No.
At all.
No, she, I think, believes everything she says and believes she's completely independent and is doing it 100% for good and that she's finding things and making discoveries.
I know, it's like dinosaur bones. She's
connecting dots.
Yeah, she's an archaeologist.
Yeah, but it's one of those fucking kids connect the dots pictures. Like at the end, you come up with the picture and it's like, because that's, read the cover. It's a connect the dots. The picture was there. You didn't make that image.
Yes,
the image was there and you connected the dots from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 and then you colored it in and made it pretty and you put it on the wall. Good fucking job.
Yeah, and all it does is elicit fear in other people, I think, and gets them to buy things.
Yeah, and gets them to paint a false cartoonish image of what darkness is, to fight an enemy that doesn't exist. Join darkness and fight the enemy that doesn't exist. That's what the resistance movement does.
Yeah, and I say dinosaur bones because dinosaurs aren't real, and people put those bones there for other people to discover. That's why it's the same as dinosaur bones. It's like discovering.
Yeah, or giants, right? Giants and dragons and griffins and mermaids.
All right.
Okay, now let's get to it.
Good.
What do you guys think of Christianity and in particular the Catholic Church? I'm noticing a large revival and higher church attendance in the past couple of years. Maybe because the world got so dark. We talked about this earlier, actually.
Did we?
Yeah, but we talked about it from the perspective of Russell Brand and Jordan Peterson and how there's a cultural repositioning of Christianity around these like celebrity figures and less so the church. It seems like the church is falling out of favor in some ways. Like the idea that the Catholic Church is corrupt is popular. Not necessarily with the older generation, but definitely with the younger generation. So there's a new, younger, hip Christianity that's led by cultural leaders, not by church leaders. I think that's what's happening. But it does seem like,
I mean, I think the whole thing's a sham.
Yeah, that was literally what I was about to say in different words.
What
Christianity at large and the Bible at large. And I think it's actually taken us a very long time. I think that's a new statement from us. I think
Who said it from you?
Yeah. Well, I'm multiple people, so no, I mean from us. I don't think you and I have talked about Christianity and the Bible being a sham.
The way I feel about the Bible is how I feel when I read a PubMed study. I'm just like, ugh. Like, it's just like, what is this? Like, what is this? Like it's like, ugh, repulsive. And Christians would say that's because it's the demons in me that don't want me to read the Bible or something.
Yeah, sure.
But
sure.
is it the same
Yeah.
demons that don't want me to read the PubMed study either on why I should be vaccinated and be a good person?
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah.
Yeah, the idea seems to be that the Bible is God's word because the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I think the thought goes about that far, because there are multiple records of this book through time, that means it is valid. And because the book says that it is the word of God and it is popular and it's consistent through time, it hasn't been changed at all. The authors were actually inspired by God, and this thing is the word of God. And that's further validated by Bible prophecy from history. Now, we don't particularly believe in mainstream history, so that's one chink in the fucking armor. I'm the second chink in the armor. I forgot my point. I said chink and then I fucking lost it. It's gone. But the idea that the Bible is God's word, I think, is questionable. And I don't know that I have a fully formulated stance on it, but every time we talk about it, we inch closer and closer to the Bible is a completely controlled, manufactured text meant to drive people toward a version of God that isn't real and that isn't actually God.
It seems like the same thing as being a conservative and watching Candace Owens and being like, oh my God, she's talking about being an anti-vaxxer. It's like there's truth in it. There's like true stories
Good way to
that
put
get
it.
validated.
Good way to put it.
But like, hello, who's Candace Owens married to? Like, does that sound any? Is there red flags? Do you have any red flags? Like anywhere? Like I don't know. It's like isn't your spidey sense going off? Like, why isn't it going off? Why are you just hook, line, and sinker nose in the book?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you hook, line, and sinker in these alternative narratives? It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Because when I check in, I just it's either here for me or it's not. It's either relevant or it's not.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do in this situation? Oftentimes, nothing. Oftentimes, just sit with the discomfort, Miriam. It sucks. I'm like, wow, this is really not that great of guidance.
Mm-hmm.
But I trust it.
Yeah. Yeah, see, then there are things in the Bible that I conceptually agree with, and I relate to God in the same way. And that's where it gets murky for me. But I think at the end of the day, at the very least, the way that the Bible's being utilized, especially in this sort of neo-Christian movement, this Jordan Peterson, Russell Brand, like this new homogenized fucking cultural Christianity, the way Christianity seems to be utilized is to create a codified good. What is the code of goodness that we all follow? And that, to me, by definition, is darkness. That's the end goal of darkness, is to say God isn't codifying good. God just is good. And we have real-time guidance constantly on what good is, and it's circumstantial. Mm-hmm. My good is different than someone else's good in that exact moment as seen by God. That doesn't seem right. That's what darkness says. That doesn't seem right. Mm-hmm. We should be able to pin down good. And if good is really tangible, we should be able to codify it. So what is the codified good, the code that we will all live by? That, to me, is the perspective of darkness, not the perspective of light. The reason why I ask this is because I've gone from attracting BPD psychodimes to pious church girls coming after me, and I'm not sure if it's a good thing yet. Jeremy, they're the same girls. That's a good read, Chelsea. That's a good read, because I actually agree.
100.
I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, like their eyes are a little bit too wide in those pictures. They got that like,
oh no,
they got this smile. If they got that smile, you're gonna fucking run. They're just fucking open in there.
That is awesome.
Oh no.
I really feel the oh no with the dot.
Yeah.
The 4 dots.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. You heard it here first.
Yep. Yeah, I don't even think
Yeah.
there's nothing else to say. Yeah, Chelsea got it.
Yeah.
She nailed it. 5 words, all it took.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like you two would have good banter.
Mm-hmm. God, that is that's a funny follow-up to that question. I go on this fucking long ass rant about Christianity and we're getting into the subtleties. So the reason why I ask is there's a lot of Christian girls with really wide eyes, big smiles that are attracted to me now. What do you think? That's amazing.
Great.
That's amazing. Oh. Man.
Yep.
Yeah, it's you know what's interesting to me? I was thinking about the idea of like ridding yourself of the ego and yada yada yada, you know, the spiritual idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it is funny because I could summarize this conversation as beware people with strong identities or with like the archetypal identities. Like there are so many characters out there that people are playing, and truther and anti-vaxxer, and they're all characters that feel about the same as everybody else. They're external characters that people are playing. They're the casting call.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think from that perspective, and then I go to that spiritual idea of ridding yourself of the ego, of the identity, I kind of get it. Like, I don't hate it. I don't hate that idea.
I still hate it.
Yeah, I understand. But like, I kind of agree that their identity is the problem.
Well, when your identity's fake, then
yes.
and when it's been installed inside of you.
I don't agree with the trajectory, the end goal of just complete mental instability and like, I am nothingness and I am all things. That's obviously not the proper end goal. That's just like trained mental illness. Mm-hmm. But the idea of the identity being the issue is, I think, a accurate analysis. Like maybe it's similar to Western medicine, you know, like the diagnoses are pretty good and they categorize it pretty well, but then the solutions are like, now take this poison. Mm-hmm. Like it's similar, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, we'll tell you exactly what's wrong with you and exactly where it fits and how to make sense of it. And then like, here's the solution. Like it's similar.
I see.
Like the identity, I think, is kind of the issue. Overly identifying with a character that isn't even you. And it reminds me of when we were in Tucson and we drove through the drive-through, and there was this like 17-year-old girl who took our order at Dutch Bros, and she was like, guys, so I was talking to a friend today and he asked me a question. It just blew my mind. What do you guys think? He said, have you ever thought like we're all in a play and we're all just playing characters inside of that play? What do you guys think? And we were like, yeah. Like,
but
duh.
We were also
like,
filming
definitely.
Paradise Valley too, so it was like,
oh yeah,
double,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, we were like actually playing characters in a sitcom that we took 3 months off of working to make that went nowhere, but was something we're very proud of.
Yes.
Maybe we will do a Paradise Valley watch party.
See, something.
I actually like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it at some point. Yeah. Probably not today, but maybe we'll come online.
No, not today.
Sometime this weekend or something and do a Paradise Valley watch party. I love that. I love that for us. But you know what I mean? The identity thing, the identity being the issue. Isn't it interesting?
Yes. But I think
it's just not that deep. And
I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not into it. Offended. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I understand.
Yep.
I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I get you're like giving kudos to spirituality for ridding the ego, or like the idea of ridding. I can see how that's important to rid the ego because these people are just playing characters anyway.
Yes, I think that's an accurate diagnosis of most people's challenges.
But then you need to reintroduce an identity that is them.
Yes. And the solution is the same as Western medicine. Yeah, that's my point.
I mean, I just think those people are hopeless and helpless, and I don't really care. Like, if you're one of those rid the ego people, I'm not interested. Because then you're just fucking malleable anyway. Because you don't have a stance, you don't have an opinion. Swears are offensive.
Yeah.
Songs are bad. Everything's a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in talking to anybody like that.
This goes back to Jeremy's dilemma, because these people, the issue with these people to date, I think, is the same as it would be for us as spiritual teachers.
Oh my God, I bet you I could give you a list of my old friends and they would love you. Because I was always friends with the BPDs.
Yeah, we've known a lot. We have known a lot.
I could introduce you.
The challenge is you can help these people to break down that identity that they're playing, that false identity, but then they look to you and they go, so what's next?
Exactly.
And then it's like, so what's next is like, you become you. And they're like, who do you think I should be? And it's like, I think you should be you. Who do you think that is?
I know.
I'm like, whatever you want. Like, earlier you were saying that you liked gardening. I'm like, oh, so I should be a gardener? And it gets really fucking hard to help at all.
Not in the good way.
Because you can't. It gets really soft really quickly. Because there's no internal mechanism of sovereignty that takes back over once the chains loosen.
Right.
And when we help the best is when there is a soul that is already sovereign and is struggling, just fucking like wriggling through all the bullshit, and they're like, I can't, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is this place? Why can't I chase any success? Why is everything going to kind of shit? Why is the whole fucking world going to shit? And why is all of my guidance to like sit still and fucking work this shitty ass job? Like, what the fuck is this place? Then we're like, we can fucking help that.
Right.
We can fucking help. Like, let's get on the phone. You don't have any money? I don't care. Let's just fucking talk. I don't care. We have to fucking talk. It's like we can fucking help there. But when it's someone who's like sitting in their fucking, in their, what are these?
Straight jacket?
Yes. They're sitting and they're, hi.
I'm here to love you.
I was thinking maybe I like what you guys do. But they're just like fucking real comfortable in their straitjacket. That's probably not the person that we're going to help.
I know.
Because what we look like in that same straitjacket is we're fucking Houdiniing. Like both of our shoulders are dislocated and we're just still fucking going. We're like, fuck, I got to fucking get out. Every moment of every day, we're just trying to fucking get out of the straitjacket. Every moment of every day. Because we know that it's wrong. And we will not deny that piece of our truth. We will not deny ourselves. We won't just ignore the fact that it's wrong. It means more to us than anything.
These BPD girls really got you on this
hard
on this story.
Yeah, on this story. Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's a good random metaphor that came from a joke. I like it. I like how this stuff weaves sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I find that most people don't know who they are.
No.
Or have opinions.
Yeah, and they're not trying.
And they don't take stances on things. And like they say one thing to another group and then they say a different thing in a different group.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what? That's not what you said before.
They're just good.
Yeah, just like good people. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess to bring it back home again to the point you already made, the future of the narratives, at the end of the day, it kind of doesn't matter. We gotta double down, trust ourselves, keep getting out of our own fucking straitjackets, get as free as possible so we can actually do something here. And that might mean being fucking alone. That might mean feeling completely isolated, having no community at all. And at some point, we just have to recognize that the communities and most of the friendships are built around all of these false identities that we've seen through.
Yeah.
Like, there's no hangouts outside of prison. There's the prison get-togethers. And when you leave, you might not have the community anymore because the gathering happens in the fucking mess hall.
Wow. We got a Jesus over here with all the metaphors.
Yeah. Thou shalt not gather at mess hall. Once thou art free, run.
Thank you, Lord. Father.
Father, I come before thee today. Humble gratitude. Thanking thou for my freedom.
It's a mess.
It is a mess. It's a big fucking mess. And somehow we are sitting just outside of it. Mm-hmm. Just outside of it. And that's worth acknowledging, patting ourselves on the back for.
That obviously means something.
Yep. Yep. I was having the thought earlier today, maybe yesterday, maybe the day before. I don't fucking know. I was having the thought recently that I don't know that we're going to see what we're really here for in this iteration of the world. Where, like, the Western world is democracy, capitalistic society, and we're all chasing prosperity and hope the stock market goes up. And the Eastern world's like, the Americans are so stupid and so dumb, and they poison themselves and their children, and we shall go to war and take Ukraine. Like, I think in this configuration of reality, I don't think we necessarily have a role yet. Not in a big, real way. Drop the soap again.
Sometimes you just wish
you could drop the soap again. Yeah.
Just to go back to the way things were.
Yeah.
Getting fucked in the ass.
Yeah. Oops. Hey there, Turbo.
Turbo?
Yeah, that's his name. It's his nickname.
Oh.
Hey, Tiny.
Tiny.
Looking big, buddy.
Okay, that's good.
What?
He's gonna pull through some prisoner.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my go-to characters. His gay man and Vietnamese female. Those are the closest to my essence. You know, they're the easiest for me to just slip right into. Also, Halbert is like he's a hall monitor, and he's like like a child basically.
No, older.
Hey, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
But yeah, I just don't know that we have a real defined place in this world. But I think we're going to find out. And I think as all these narratives continue and the world gets better, in quotes, we'll find more and more openings. Because I think the world is going to objectively get better. Like Steven Pinker style. You guys know Steven Pinker from Freakonomics? He wrote a book basically about like how great the world is, how it's all our bias. Like we think the world's terrible because we see all this terrible shit all the time, but the world's actually more prosperous and better than ever. That was he wrote a whole book on it, thick as fuck, the Freakonomics guy.
Oh yeah.
Steven Pinker. I think the world's going to continue to get better, Steven Pinker style. Like things are going to get better and better, but that feeling is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse for everyone across the board. And I think at some point there'll just be some pocket or some opening where we're like, oh, like this is my time to say something. This is my time to do something. This is my time to, or we'll just find ourselves right in the middle of it. It might not even be like we just sit and wait until it arrives. We might spend the next 10 years building something that the world there's no opening for, that we don't see the opportunity, and we may never feel that casting call fucking feeling come. We're like, oh, here's my opportunity, here's my moment, here's my promise from darkness that soon all the incentives will fall in my lap if I just chase this. We may never even get that feeling. It might just be we'll find ourselves in the middle of it one day, we'll be playing that role and we'll see it. I'm helping. I'm actually doing good here, and that should be impossible because I'm going up against darkness, and darkness is better than me at everything. How am I making a difference at all? Darkness is more organized, smarter, more spiritually evolved, understands far more about reality than I ever will even come close to conceptualizing. It's like, this really has to be God then. I think we'll have that moment over and over and over again of like, I was right. Like, I'm glad I dedicated my whole life to this. I'm glad I made this bet because I was right.
I mean, I was thinking about that book recently.
Yep, Better Angels of Our Nature.
Was that another book?
That's the book.
Oh.
That's the name of it.
I thought it was Freakonomics.
Freakonomics is the book that he wrote that popularized him.
Oh. But Better Angels of Our Nature.
Interesting.
Oh, Emil was thinking of Freakonomics.
Oh.
But Jeremy was referencing.
Yeah, the book I was talking about was Better Angels of Our Nature.
Yeah, I know.
So it's good. I liked this.
Yeah?
This overall discussion, yeah. Overall enjoyable experience.
Yeah, no, I like it too. It's helpful to hash stuff out.
Yeah,
it's like
I
it
agree.
always feels so clunky at first. I mean, it still feels things feel
Yeah, I know. We're not 100% correct. We're getting there.
I mean,
I think we're closer than ever.
Yeah, but
we're pretty fucking
but
clear.
these people that pretend to be 100% correct definitely aren't.
No.
Definitely not.
No. Yeah, I agree. I still feel some
Did we
clunkiness.
ask Jeremy what his what brought him to the second paradigm? It was the Law of One video.
Yeah, did you see the Law of One video, Jeremy?
He must have. But then.
And why aren't you in our community so we can like hang out and talk more?
Did you have it? You can join for free. There's no strings attached, and you can leave at any time.
That's also true.
Aren't.
Yeah, if you find out that we're actually terrible people,
psychopaths.
If we're the fucking VPD motherfuckers,
it was the Law of One.
You can head out.
But what got you on this spiritual path in the first place? Like, what went wrong in your life?
Tell us about the accident.
Well, wait. Oh, no. David's far too accurate. Tell us about the accident. He's like, oh, fuck. Because it's never just a short YouTube comment. I'm asking.
Yeah.
Tell me about your deep existential questioning.
Yeah, what got you thinking there must be more to life than this? Tell us about that
in 2
window
sentences.
Of deep depression.
It's okay. I am waiting.
Yeah, we do like hearing these stories because we all have them. Everyone here. Everyone here
so
has
relatable.
Almost the identical story, actually, to the point that it's pretty fucking freaky.
Freakonomics.
Because something had to make us bet everything on that inner wisdom. That could have only been compartmentalized as mental illness. It's pretty wild when I think back to pursue mental illness because it feels right. It's wild.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember thinking that in the beginning.
We made some real fucking bets.
I was scared people were going to think I was crazy.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, perfect. He was raised Christian.
I was raised Christian, turned 13, then was atheist for 10 years. Then I saw paranormal stuff and couldn't go back. Studied the occult New Age for like 5 years before realizing, holy shit, this is dark. Now here I am.
Ta-da!
Wow.
That was a good.
I know, that was
summary.
good. You got your fucking elevator pitch dialed, man.
I know.
30 seconds.
Interesting.
Yeah, very.
What was the paranormal stuff?
Like ghosts, like cabinets opening and closing, that kind of paranormal stuff.
I feel like it's a little cooler.
Yeah, I know, probably.
I think it's gonna be more. He's like, oh shit, he deletes ghosts.
He's like, well, my cabinets are opening and closing.
I mean, it was something much cooler.
He just starts making something up.
Yeah, that's super relatable.
Very, very.
Yeah, the atheist thread is interesting too. I mean, I was saying, we were outside or something, and I was like, God, I feel like we're like spiritual atheists.
Yeah.
Because we just shit on spirituality as a whole and don't take anything so seriously, except like hashtag mainstream spirituality. We shit on it completely. Okay, David's reading your comment.
Oh, you can finish
Go
your
ahead.
thought.
Oh,
Yeah, you're already in it.
I left it.
Okay. Weird, unexplainable coincidences.
Like cabinets opening.
Yeah. People who were really good at energy manipulation doing things that weren't possible.
So's BPDs.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good at that.
Fuck. I know.
They're like top of the game.
I feel like we've learned so much about darkness from people who are embodying it real time that we're like close with. It's like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
How is it possible for a person to be like this?
So much manipulation.
Yeah.
Like just through thought. Like their own thought. And then you see something and you're like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dark.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, but in that New Age spiritual community, it's supposed to be seen as like powerful and...
Yeah, I was atheist too. I think if I didn't see any phenomenological experiences and I didn't have my channel fucking open, that was very inconvenient. I would definitely be an atheist. I think I
prefer it
a little
more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I think I have a little bit more ideological respect for atheists than mainstream spirituality and Christianity both. Just a little bit more. Where I'm like, yeah, I would probably be there.
Well, because there's like a cynical nature about it that's honestly refreshing.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Because it feels like there's like a naive dupability.
Yeah. They're at least
the
calling out the bullshit
religious
that's
people.
obviously bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember reading about I read Richard Dawkins' book after I left the Jehovah's Witness religion, which I was in for most of my life. I was reading Richard Dawkins, and Richard Collier, I think was his name. He wrote a book called The Christian Delusion and then The God Delusion, Richard Dawkins. And reading about like the inconsistencies in the Bible, I was like giddy. I was like a little too giddy. I was like, fuck, I'm like proving it wrong. Like I'm proving my whole childhood wrong. Like, fuck yeah. This is awesome. I remember calling my brother and I was like, yo, did you know that in the book of John, it fucking contradicts the book of Luke? And I was like so excited. And he was like, he also left the religion and just we were just kind of uncomfortable around spirituality. So he was like, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, that's cool that you're reading that book. And I was like, no. Like, I think it's all fucking fake, man. How cool is this? I love Richard Dawkins. He's a fucking genius. But then I went to a retreat with my buddy Amateo. He was running like a business mastermind at the time, and then I saw him channel, and my whole fucking body's like vibrating, and like it's like not my friend. He's not there anymore. It's this fucking other being, very viscerally. His like face even looks like it morphs a little bit, and I was like, this is fucking wild. I can't just write off reality. I have to add this to my atheist context, and then my fucking channel blew open like 2 days later at the same retreat. Wild.
True story.
Wild.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for the elevator pitch.
Mm-hmm. I know, that was really good.
Yeah, I like it.
Been able to do that. So succinct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I was going to ask?
Yeah. I started meditating and accidentally left my body. So yeah, I couldn't be an atheist anymore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens too.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, done that. I was going to ask you something about, like it feels like your humor is too good for the level 1 people. So I'm curious how that works. Like, how can you be so quick and witty and funny? Because I don't find those people funny at all. They take themselves so seriously. So I was wondering how that...
Like how you've existed inside of spirituality at all?
Yeah, as a person that like has a sense of humor.
I was never law of one.
Okay. Okay, then what about New Age spirituality at large, I guess? The 5-year stint. Because it like doesn't work. Like you can't...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more chaos, magic, and hermeticism. I don't think I know what that means.
I definitely don't.
Chaos magic. Huh. I don't really know what that means either, but I can guess.
Like
Hermes.
in Hermes.
Oh, and Thoth. Thoth. Every time I hear Thoth, I hear Justin Bieber's a 12-year-old going Thoth in like a video. There's an interview. Yeah,
Like
old
a
school.
triangle?
Old school. Yeah, yeah. And he's kind of joking, but I think it's funny. Kind of like Gnosticism in some ways, I think. Yeah, Gnosticism too. Yeah, that's interesting.
Is that word, Emil? Hermes Trismegistus
I didn't even fucking read it.
stuff? And does he have typos, or is that's a word?
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. What's the whole Hermes story? Is it like
I don't
dark
know.
underworld stuff?
I don't know.
I'm out of the loop, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, it's this overlap between Hermes and Thoth. Hermeticism is like what mystery schools and secret societies base their stuff on. Okay. Where Hermes becomes Thoth. Oh.
Is it like the Monroe Institute type kind of stuff? Like that kind of like dark scientific magic?
I don't know.
With Greek mythology?
Yeah, all those pockets are interesting. Gnosticism's a trip because they're like, yeah, so Lucifer's the good guy. And the
that's
light.
what it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's the light bearer.
Yep. Because he told Adam and Eve that they were being deceived and that they actually had free will. He gave Adam and Eve free will. That's the idea. So he liberated him from Yahweh, who is actually the demiurge, who's the evil figure in the Bible. They flipped the whole thing.
Okay.
What Jeremy said too.
You guys are nerds. I don't know
Man,
anything about this.
This shit's so fucking dark. It's wild how dark all this stuff is. Every once in a while, I'll think about it. I'll find some new pocket, and I'm like, oh, let's go explore this pocket of spirituality. And I go in like fucking 3 inches, and it's dark, real dark. And I reach my hand, go in 3 inches, and I just run out of dick. Gotta get out of there. Then he became a Christian saint called Hermes Trismegistus. I don't know.
I have nothing on this.
Yeah.
Oh, then he was.
Well, yeah. Interesting, Jeremy. Where are you now? Like,
He's on the West Coast.
No. Like ideologically, like where have you been hanging out? Like, what do you watch? Do you like?
He's like,
do you consume
fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's like the fucking Second Paradigm. Oh shit, real time watching you guys.
Yeah.
No, but like maybe even right before you found our Law of One video. Like what kind of where are you ideologically?
And do you
like
have
what kind of
friends
stuff
left?
do you explore?
Just asking.
Yeah, I find it fascinating. I find it really fascinating.
Emil, what's with all the typos?
You just don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Emil's just completely let loose.
Yeah, he has let loose. I love it. It's like he's on T9 or something on his phone.
Come on, let the man impart his knowledge. I'm just typing fast and don't care. Speed over accuracy.
Wow, you've changed.
Potency over precision, motherfuckers. I'm dropping the truth.
Emil's a new man. He's like, they can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm misunderstood. I spoke my truth.
I know what I said. All right.
Damn.
That's cool, Emil.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to Jeremy. Okay, what are the questions? Oh, what do you watch?
Yeah.
Where are you at psychologically?
Yes.
And do you have any friends?
Oh, interesting. I'm re-exploring Christianity from the perspective of, God is real. And there's a lot of what Jesus said. So I have Christian friends that I don't go too deep with. Interesting. Yeah, I did notice that there was a really big, I guess maybe this is what you were talking about earlier. There was a really big sort of mass exodus from New Age, in quotes, into the New Age is dark and now I love Jesus pocket.
Mm-hmm.
A huge one.
Yeah. I tried it.
Yeah.
I don't know, just
Yeah.
didn't work
Right
for
around
me.
then, we started writing stuff. We were starting to talk like quit New Age, can't Christian.
Mm-hmm.
We were writing like some fucking PDFs and shit on how, Jesus Christ isn't our Lord or Savior. I used to be like, ugh, to say. But then I was like, no, like, I really do believe that. Like, he's not.
I know, I don't get
He's
it.
not.
It still makes me feel weird inside.
But God's my fucking everything.
Yeah.
So how do I reconcile leaving New Age but not clicking into the new pocket with everyone else, where all of the people who agree with me just went?
Mm-hmm.
How do I leave one party with everyone? Like, yeah, let's all go to the... And I'm like, no, I can't go to the next place with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit outside by myself.
Yeah.
It's hard. But yeah, that's interesting. Like Jordan Peterson Christianity? Or like Frank Turk Christianity?
Who's that?
He's like a Christian apologist. He's like smart Christian.
Are you stupid Christian or smart Christian?
Well, they're both smart Christians. I guess that's right. Jordan Peterson, and they're just very different. Very different.
I know, but controlled. I don't even know if Jordan Peterson is the OG Jordan Peterson.
It would not surprise me. I don't even believe in cloning. Like I can't. My brain can't go there. It just stops. My brain cannot.
I feel like I can remote view
go
a
there.
Facility.
I'm sure
like
you can. I'm sure you
go.
can. And I'm sure I would agree with you. And
Not that I want to,
ideologically, it makes a lot of sense to me. And I can get, but like I cannot, for some reason, I cannot accept that as a reality. But I do believe that about Jordan Peterson. Even though I can't go there, I'm like, it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, funny.
Because he's so different.
Yeah.
So different. I watch old Jordan Peterson and I'm like, damn, this shit was fucking good. Like even Jordan Peterson debating Ben Shapiro on the Rubin Report. Is
it an old one?
It's good. Yeah, it's old. I think it was before he left.
Pre-benzos.
Yep. Yeah, before he like got like really emaciated.
Okay.
I can connect well with people who are full of God, even if I don't agree on all the details. I don't really follow thought leaders anymore. I just read scriptures and dive into what resonates with me, with the God intuition in me. That's cool. That's cool. I can dig that. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I enjoy doing the same thing. I have questions about the Bible as a whole and the source and all, but I like just going into different ideological pockets and just scanning. Because it's like I get like I don't know, it's like flipping through like a fucking tarot card deck of just topics. And then I get to sit on it and like find the truth. I know, but like of topics, like just or like an oracle card, a card deck of topics, or like fucking like a table topics fucking conversation starter kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like using the Bible and even other books and other people's videos and stuff. Like sometimes I feel like I'm drawn to certain things just so I can sit and like pull through my own answers and feel through things and the subtleties of things. And
chew on it. Let it churn.
Yep. And I feel like I always end up that space in the Bible. I guess because I'm thinking about God, right? And I like to imagine that there was some light there at some point. When you read about what Jesus said and did, he was very base.
Offended.
That's awesome. He gave the middle finger to the rules-based Yahweh religion of his time and said the only rule is to love God and your neighbor. That's true. It's true.
Yeah, I know. And I have zero religious upbringing.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually grateful for. But so basically I learned about the Bible through The Chosen. The show. And Jesus was so rebellious.
Yeah, big time.
Which I loved.
Big time.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. And the only person she liked more than Jesus was John the Baptist.
True.
Because even more rebellious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So rebellious he got his fucking head chopped off.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that's like, if Miriam had one historical role model, it'd probably be John the Baptist.
That's crazy. But I was like, wait, where's the rebellion now? Like like Christianity feels like it's turned into this
so docile.
Like, yes, like compassion soup.
Yeah.
And like no judgment allowed, but that's a new age too, and hashtag spirituality. Yep. Like no judgment.
Yeah, I don't necessarily love that ideology though. It really makes it really easy for darkness. Maybe it's just been maybe it's just an idea that's been corrupted, or maybe it was always meant to do that, but Yeah, the idea of love gets murkier and murkier and murkier to me all the time. The idea of having compassion and like kind of gaslighting ourselves into a positive perspective on something that otherwise we really disagree with or don't like or feel something compelling us to stand against it or even just like noticing our abuse. Like there's some Stockholm syndrome elements of love. There's so many elements of it that just get it just pads our psychology with feel good emotions. And at the root is like there's something really wrong that's compelling me to evolve or to become more of myself or to get closer to God or whatever it is, or to blow up this aspect of my life. And I don't like how people love that shit away.
Yeah. I know I was watching this girl that I was saying about before where she was swearing. I was watching her vlog and she was swearing and I was like, nobody cares that she swears, but if I swear, it's low vibration, you know, because I'm spiritual. But I was watching her vlog. She recently gave birth and she was saying how she felt like so much gratitude and she just started crying and she was just grateful for all these different aspects of her life that led her to this point with this baby in her arms, and it was touching. It was very nice. And then she's like, and that's why gratitude journals are so important. And you guys, we just have to think positive. And I was like, you ruined it. You just had a whole moment that was actually real because the gratitude was just like spilling out of you, not because you were writing in a journal. You were literally crying, breastfeeding your newborn baby who's been home for like all of 3 hours. Like, it just felt like I was like, oh no, it just became a rule set and a practice and a thing that you're supposed to do. And then she also ended it with, but feel your feelings and feel your trauma all the way through.
Yeah, it's like completely
and I was
contradictory.
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the psychological web that most people live in is
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeremy says there's some rebellious Christians that don't get mainstream attention, some rogue priests in the Catholic Church, etc., that are trying to tap into the God intuition amidst the corruption. I could see that.
Yeah, but the algorithm's not going to foster that.
No. Yeah, there are some Christians who, I just feel so much God in them. Some. Every once in a while. There's this woman down the street. She's from, where? Somalia?
That's her name.
Not even a country, is it? Kenya? Something? Anyway. She's from
Africa.
Yeah, not Cameroon. There's a lot of people from Cameroon around here, but she's not from Cameroon. Oh, we're dropping frames now.
Boop, 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 boop. Is it going back up?
It is. Yep, it's slowly ticking back up. Yeah, we dropped a few. Yep, back down. Hello.
Why?
YouTube's not receiving anything. I don't know.
You want a hotspot to your phone?
As such, viewers will experience
We're back up.
buffering. Yeah, you think? Looks like it.
We were effing.
F.
Okay.
Good.
You see God in people.
Well, there's this woman, and every time we talk to her, she goes quiet. She's usually standing with her husband, and he's like the smiliest person I've ever met in my entire life. Biggest smile. And then she's standing, and she just goes, and then she'll come back to the conversation with new information. It's like I guess it's the thing that I do. This is the thing that I do, where it's just awkwardly, I just disappear for a little bit.
Yeah, because the conversation's still carrying on, but she hasn't said what she thinks about the thing yet.
Yeah, she hasn't said anything. She goes quiet.
Place.
Yep.
Gets the information.
And when I feel into her feeling into things, it feels as though that's the same source of information that I'm pulling from. I think. But I know that she thinks about it very differently, and I don't know how she makes sense of it. Really at all. I do want to ask her. I've had multiple moments of being like, man, I'd really like to ask her if she thinks she talks to God, if that's God's Holy Spirit, or if she's just thinking, like what?
Yeah,
how does
just
she
thinks of it as thinking.
Mm-hmm. How does she think about what she's doing?
Well, my friend calls it daydreaming. She's like, "Oh yeah, my sister always says I go off and I just daydream." I'm like, "That's you checking in. You're checking in. That's you."
Mm-hmm.
I like try to.
Yeah. And then we're like, "That's God."
I'm
She's
so-
like,
I know. I'm so
I don't
aggressive.
really know what
with
you're
it.
talking about.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, "No, you're not daydreaming. That's a good place. Keep going there. That's not just like a fantastical.
Yeah.
Like that's a place where you find the answers. That's where God is. You go to God."
Yeah. I guess that's what's tough about all these pockets, right? It's like, and you already said that you don't even really follow people anymore, or like have thought leaders anymore, right? Which is good. It's good.
And every thought leader is self-proclaimed. Like, how fucking arrogant when your profile says you're a fucking thought leader. I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
That's more so like something people say about you when you're coming on stage.
Exactly.
It's not something you put in your own bio, but people do. But just generally, I think following other people's thoughts, you're looking for a codified good. And it's uncomfortable not to find one. And to not find community around a set of beliefs that make us feel as though we're correct and valued and all of that. But I think at the end of the day, this like limbo space is actually really healthy.
Well, it really shapes you into like having an opinion and being a person.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to. You have to.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I used to really value having an open mind and having a beginner's mind. Ideas like that are popular in personal development.
Mm-hmm.
I used to really value it. And now I look back at myself and be like, man, I was pretty naive. Just like overly open. And I think it accelerated my understanding of the world. Like,
I don't think it was off.
I don't think it was off.
Mm-mm.
But I couldn't do that now.
No.
I couldn't be that person anymore. I'm so much more opinionated than I used to be. I used to just agree with everyone and everything always. I remember my brother when I was younger, I was in like the, California spiritual community or whatever. And I remember him telling me, he was like, I've never met anyone that has had anything bad to say about you. He's like, that's weird. Like, that's notable. I was like, huh. Cool.
I still think it's that way.
Yeah. I think people have bad things to say about me now. More than before.
Yeah, me. I'm the bad thing. They're like, you really shouldn't be with
it's me.
Miriam.
I'm the problem is, hey.
True story.
It's me.
Guaranteed. I can like hear the conversations.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. Now and then I'll come across someone online who I can feel they're full of God. You guys included. Thanks. I'll subscribe, but they usually have a small following. Yeah. Yeah.
That's us.
Hey, it's me. We're the full of God peeps. We're the full of God. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get boosted in the algorithm. It's not. This won't. I don't know that it ever will, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And when it does, I feel like I'd be fucking so skeptical and highly alarmed. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? I would have the same. I'd be like, why is this getting bolstered? Why did Candace...
How am I being utilized right now?
Why did Candace Owens just invite us on her show? What the fuck is happening? I'm not going.
Yeah. I get it. All right. Good shit.
Okay.
I think this is awesome.
Yeah.
You feel complete?
I think so. I was just thinking of people justify a lot of things. Like they'll think that, or they'll know that AJ is controlled op, but then they'll go on his show because it's like exposure for them. And, it's weird. It's like, oh, I know, but it was a good opportunity to get in front of more people. And I don't know. I don't know that I could ever do that. I don't like that shit. David and Miriam.
Joe Rogan experience. No, we would go on Joe Rohan. I don't know that we'll go on Joe Rogan. If there's a guy out there named Joe Rohan and I haven't heard of him, we might.
2025. I think that's a little too soon.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be pretty low pro for a while.
I think so too.
We'll just
I
keep
do-
shitting on all these little spiritual pockets and find a few people as
I
we
do
go.
think most people like you and don't have a bad thing to say about you. Because you like, I don't know, the way you talk and the way you explain things, it like patches all their like, they like can't, you don't give them anything to like really get upset about.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Maybe.
One's in the chat if you agree with me. It's just like, that's the most action we have. It's all ones.
Maybe.
The way you explain things and the way you talk, and like it's very like, they can, if they have half a brain, they can see what you're saying and where you're coming from. Like, it's hard not to agree with you once you've said point.
I guess that's true. I
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying. I do. But I used to, I think, be...
We got a one. Thanks, Jeremy. I'm the offensive one.
That's true. That's true. And we say often the exact same thing.
Yes.
And that is weird.
But they don't hear it
No.
from you.
I know. It is
Yeah.
actually weird that I can be as crude as I am and not offend people.
Right.
That is weird.
Right.
That is weird.
Right.
I really think about it. Well, you kind of ruined my point a little bit, but I definitely used to have no opinions at all. And I feel like I finally have like a formulated belief system, which is nice. It's refreshing.
Yes. I agree with you there, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's taken a long time. And I mean, it's still constantly refining, and we're still thinking things through, and it's evolving.
Oh, yeah. Even this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Our belief systems will change around this stuff at some point.
Everything will just update.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see more. I can tell that we're not 100% on point in this, in the future of where all these things go and how all the pieces come together. And I don't think we're entirely on point. But I do think we are 100% on point. That darkness is trying to make this a utopia, and they're trying to prove that God is.
Yeah.
That piece of it sold.
Yeah. Well, it makes the most sense. It tracks with everything they do.
Yeah.
And like all the counter narratives too.
Mm-hmm.
That are informed by darkness, like the rebellion, the recruitment for rebellion is also. What are you laughing at?
So just the way you say something and the energy behind it. People tell me the same thing, that people don't have anything bad to say about me. It's interesting. The only time I get into trouble is when I make friends with a narcissist who gets angry with me when I won't join in on them mistreating others.
That makes sense.
That does make sense. Yeah. Well, good shit. Seem like a good guy.
Yeah.
I got nothing bad to say about you,
I
man.
know. See? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it is in the energy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I don't have that. I don't have that ability. I'm like meant to offend.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of
100%. Disrupt.
Disrupt. Well, yeah, and offend.
Yeah. But yeah.
Same. It's a nicer word. Disrupt is more evolved. But it's like, yeah, it's to shake Satan's apple cart. It's to like,
yeah.
But it's, I know, this morning when I was fixing my ponytail in the mirror, I was like, man, I wish I had a little bit of an easier role here. It's just kind of like, I have to be the offensive one. It's just like, oh.
You can trade with me and feel everyone's existential crisis and then solve your way out.
No, but I would like to be liked a little bit more. If I could pick and choose.
Yeah, I know. I think that's how we all feel.
But I can't offend and be more like it's.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but the people that you don't offend like you more than they like me. I think at the end of the day, I don't even think it's a bad thing.
I think they tell me more.
Yeah. Like feel much closer to you than they will ever feel to me. Yeah, you create like a resonance and a friendship and a sense of community and a sense of belonging and a sense of trust that's fucking unreal.
But it's in the like offensive statements and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's like when I'm meeting the neighbors and talking shit about other neighbors.
Yep.
Like it's things you're not supposed to say, but then it ends up building rapport. And I'm saying the true thing. It's not like I'm making up lies.
See, Jeremy doesn't have anything bad to say about you either.
Because he's like you, just like nice guys.
Oh my God.
Oh, thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, I know. It's just weird. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I pop out of it a little bit and I'm like, but when I'm in it, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I will do this. This is my role. I know this. I have this assignment to be a disruptor.
Yeah, well, you attack things that aren't actually people. Like you attack people's ideologies and things they identify with. You go after it because you're like, this is wrong.
Yeah, but
this
people
is
identify
silly.
with it is the problem.
I know. But the people who are capable of going like, oh, well, I mean, that's not really me anyway. That's interesting. And then they want to know more about it. So like, even if they identify with it a little bit, they want to know more so they can like rid themselves of it if it isn't right.
Yeah.
Those people like fucking love you.
Yeah, they stick around.
Oh yeah.
They have more questions.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's just odd. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
know.
you being polarizing is good. It's very good. Yeah, Miriam's like the spiritual antibody reaction to bullshit and darkness. Mm-hmm. Very true.
So
just fucking running 103 fever. Everyone around you is just fucking has a cold compress on their forehead.
Yeah,
it's the thermometer, glass thermometer in their mouth.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, yeah, just burn out the bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been so many moments. But it's I don't know. I'm not trying to play woe is me. It's just a little bit uncomfortable. Or it's like uncomfortable after, I guess, to say the bold thing that's like offensive that nobody else wants to say in the room. I remember I had this group of friends back in San Diego, and one of the girls, she was like, hey, how long do you think our other friend is going to live with her boyfriend? Like, how long do you think their relationship's going to last once they move in together? I was like, oh, give it till October tops. I was like, it's fucking over. And I said it like that. But like, I'm in a spiritual community. Like, I'm not supposed to.
Yeah.
But I felt like she set me up, first of all. She knew I was going to say the truth.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what happened. Like, I wasn't even off base at all, down to the month. Like, that's fucking weird. But it just felt true. And like, what do you do with that though? You know, it's like, and then she was like, yeah, I know. I feel like I was like, yeah, no, as soon as they live together, it's just going to implode. It's not going to last.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I didn't tell my friend that, and I didn't tell anybody else that I ever said that. It's just weird. Because like, if you,
except for our 5 concurrent viewers.
Well, that's right. They know now. It happened like so long ago. But like, I don't know. There's so many moments of that. Like, I had another friend that was like mad at me that I told a lie to the person that I nannied for this woman. And I told her I was doing something else after work when I was really doing like energy work. But I just didn't want to say what I was really doing because energy work just seemed like a weird thing to say at the time. I was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was mad at me for telling a white lie. And then I was like, well, maybe that's because you're cheating on your husband. Like, that's probably what, like, and that's what I said. I just fucking said it. Like, I said it like it was like, oh yeah, I'll have lettuce and tomatoes and onions on my fucking burger. Of course I will. Like, it felt like the same, like.
Yeah.
And she was she's even more mad at me for saying that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It just comes out.
Mm-hmm. And then you go, am I wrong?
I know. It's like, no.
They go, no, but I hate you for it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, just say I am raw after you say everything and people won't get mad.
That is awesome. I am
raw. You're just going to pretend you're channeling.
Right?
Well, you are channeling is the fucking thing.
Yeah, but
you pull through the bullshit. You just don't say I am raw so people don't slot it that way.
Oh, I know. I know, it's funny, even with like our property management company, like everyone's seeing the true colors now. And like, I've been done for a while, and now like the other board members are like, I can't do this. Miriam, I don't know if I can go to the meeting next month. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, I know. And it's like, it's taken a long time for them to get to the place that I've been complaining about for a while.
Which is the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, things have been bad here for so long, and nobody's been willing to admit it because it feels like there's no solution
Right.
if they admit it. But now that we have a solution, they can admit it.
Well, right, and it feels like you would be at fault as being a board member. Like it.
Yeah,
feels
they're
like,
also scared
mm-hmm.
of liability,
and
which
it
is
does.
nuts.
Well, and it does feel like, I mean, you take responsibility and pride in being a HOA board member.
Mm-hmm.
I think that role like matters to some degree.
Yeah. Yeah,
so you take pride in it. So you don't want to be looked at by the community as like fucking things up for the last however many years.
That's true. That's true.
But I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I did have that thought, or that my mirror session with myself this morning. I'm like, do I have to be a disruptor?
Yeah.
Can I just
you do.
Can I just be like liked?
And you are.
Yeah.
Again, I think you're liked more than I am.
It's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it makes me emotional. It's so weird.
I mean, it's hard to be on an ideological island. It's very hard. Like, I think I have a similar feeling inside of me, but mine is I have to ideologically go pretty far out on a limb and like take stands for things that I can't even entirely understand sometimes. Like when I'm channeling, when something's news coming through, I end up taking these ideological stances where it feels like I'm like stupid, like so fucking dumb. Like I like can't get it and I can't see it and I can't validate it, and it's validated by no one. And I know that people are going to look to me for that thought.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to stand on me while they explore it.
Yeah.
And maybe at some point they, they're like, oh yeah, that just makes sense. And it becomes their thought, and it maps into like who they are and their own relationship with God, and it gets validated and all. But like until then, they stand on me. And like I feels like I'm standing on nothing sometimes. And I'm like, fuck, this is like, it's hard to hold reality together. Right. It's past the edges of my understanding where I'm like, this is it. And it feels like even with this, with the future of narratives, and where I'm like, I know it, I can feel the truth in it, but it's way out there, way out there. And I have to be willing to be that person and then have it, and then map it out and have it make sense, and then convey that like, this is right, we're good, we're solid, it's smart, it's Kate, you're good, safe to believe this.
Yeah, it's safe to believe. That's a big one. Yeah.
Like I make.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I have to make God sound smart, but I kind of feel the emotional burden of the collective, the current collective stance on that thing. It's like the like I try to take all the, and I don't. It's not even that I try to. It's just I end up taking the collective weight of the ideological judgment. And then I have to validate it enough that I can bear it. And then I can convey we're good. This is right. But yeah, I mean, I think we all have our own like weird burdens to bear here, because we're not, light isn't welcome here. It's not.
I wouldn't want that one.
God's not welcome here. And when you really work for God, there's something about it that's hard and it's uncomfortable. And it would be much easier to fall in line and to live inside of the dark utopia and just to go into NPC mode.
Essentially. I can't stop thinking about that. When I think about darkness and how it's already
the
here,
convenience.
Yeah, it's all in the convenience of it all.
I know.
And yes, do I order my mom's groceries online and go and pick them up? I sure do. And every time I order them, I always think, this is it. Like, this is the dark utopia. I'm participating in it. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I check in about it, obviously.
Yeah.
I checked in about it to even do it to begin with, because I was like, I don't want to go grocery shopping for you. Can we just do it from the phone? The convenience.
Yeah.
And I know it's so small, and you can see it as not darkness, and you can see, it. I don't know. You can get all rule setty about it, but I think darkness has just so infiltrated this place, and we live within darkness already.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter which way the future goes. Is our tether true? Is our connection to God true? And will we keep that at all costs? I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah. And despite the emotional consequences of doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Because if every incentive of the world, including all of the emotional manipulation, is driving us into all of these pre-existing roles, if we don't play it, we have to acknowledge that it's going to hurt. Of course.
Yeah.
It will always hurt to be actually different. Always.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the burden that we bear by playing these roles. And at some point, it just gets more and more comfortable, and it's like, okay, this will be here, and this is a part of being a mature adult that works for light here on Earth. Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that it's like great. It's just that's acceptable because that's all that can be done now. It's as good as it can get. This is as far as I can get, as much as I can accept.
Mm.
As far as the world can go, as much as God can do for me. This is it. But at least we have the solidity to keep going even when it hurts, right? And I think that's the thing that we've built the past decade. The solidity to keep going even when our emotional incentives go the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means to trust your intuition.
Mm.
If it goes the same direction as all the emotional incentives, it's not intuition. That's easy. Anyone can follow their intuition when there's not pressure. But as soon as that emotional pressure starts caving in, you're fucking scared because you can't pay the bills, or you're scared because fucking everyone around you is going to hate you. Those are the moments.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, yep, this is right.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the consequences. This is right.
Question.
Oh, how do we know if our tether or connection to God is true? Big fucking question. Big fucking question.
Yeah, that is not a small potatoes question. I think it's personal, and you have to validate it through your own lived experience. I think that's the only way of like listening to that, knowing, following it all the way through, regardless of the biological flare-ups.
Yep.
And then seeing that things like actually did work out, and it's like, oh, weird.
Mm-hmm.
Or like seeing how circumstances orchestrate around you, or how different people are placed in different spots. I don't know. We've had like such odd things happen here at the HOA, and like a water meter burst, and like it was totally like they needed David's help, and like there was no other way around it. Like it was just so, and all the guidance he was getting before that happened was like just to like sit back and just like pull back and not engage with any of this stuff, and let things kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
And then they didn't fizzle out. They got more intense for everyone else. And then we had to call on David for help. And then that ended up proving the point he was trying to prove like weeks prior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, reality proved my point, and I didn't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it'll always feel like a bet to some degree. And it certainly does at the beginning. I think we all made a bet.
Is there a doc that's called The Bet? Or it's in a doc?
The bet you've made. It's definitely...
Emil
it's
probably
definitely
knows.
in docs.
Emil knows right out
It's
the gate.
definitely in there. But I don't know where. Yeah, Emil, you probably do know. But I think it's important or helpful for me when I go in. I've spent a lot of time in that doubt space trying to validate as much as possible. And the first probably 3 to 6 months of me channeling was just me trying to validate the connection. Give me some logical foundation to sit in that wasn't like mental illness or a flow state that I hacked out of my subconscious mind. I needed to validate this as an actual phenomenological experience.
From your fidget spinner.
Yeah. So that was kind of the beginning. But I've gone into these pockets a lot and had long discussions with B. And I think one of the most helpful things for me to realize was, even if I'm wrong, I'll find it. Because I know that God is real, that there is light. I know that to be the case, because I can't accept that all of the phenomenological experiences are real and everything is darkness, and I have this deep desire for light, but it doesn't exist anywhere. That doesn't work for me as a reality context. So it exists, and I don't believe that we are completely cut off from it. I don't think it's completely hopeless either. That for me also doesn't work ideologically. So I think we have access to God somewhere. Light is possible here. I really do feel that on a deep level. And it makes the most ideological sense to me too. So I think even when I'm most cynical, I go, yeah, I could be wrong about everything, but I'll find it. And that gives me hope in and of itself. And in the meantime, the only way for me to find it would be to go as hard as I can on whatever I'm doing. Like, go full in on it. And that's what I did with New Age. That's what I did with entrepreneurship. That's what I did with being a fucking dating coach. That's what I did with all of these various roles that I played. I was fucking fully in it, and I played it out as hard as I could. And then at the end, I was like, oh, that was correct, in that I felt guided to it. And I learned what I needed to, but it wasn't like me or fully correct. It was like good enough for the time, as good as it could get, maybe. And maybe my entire worldview right now is that. I don't think so, but maybe. But if it is, I'll find out. And I think we all have within us this sense that we're going to chase the truest possible thing we have access to in every single moment. And we're probably still wrong about plenty, but we're freer than everyone else around us, because we give a fuck.
That I definitely see. I definitely notice that.
Yeah. So it's like, can we ever 100% fully, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, know that we got everything right about our connection to God? Probably not. But like, we learn to differentiate out our emotion. We learn to differentiate out collective thoughts. We learn to disconnect from the collective. We learn what all the narratives in the psyops sound like, and recognize that that's not the same thing that we're doing. There's contrast between all of the darkness that everyone's in and the thing that we're doing. Like, we find ways to differentiate out more and more and more. And what's left probably is God. It's the best we got. But yeah, I think the docs were helpful for that. If you ever get into them, even if you want to explore, in the description, members.thesecondparadigm.com, there's you don't even need to sign up if you don't want to, but there's a doc under resource library in the left menu called The Cutting Edge, and you can explore some stuff in there. I think the ideological framework that's come through my channel is the thing that I can rest in, that makes me feel not crazy and good, stable. And I couldn't have thought of any of this without my channel, which is humbling in and of itself. There's a cool little setup we got here with B and my channel, and then us pulling through things and feeling through things, and Miriam calling shit out. But yeah, I think the docs and B have given me enough of an ideological foundation that I can go, yeah, checks out. It's good. It's good. Makes sense.
Yeah, everything checks out and tracks. That's kind of the crazy part. When I read other people's channel material, I talked about this yesterday, I'm always like, ugh. It just doesn't, it doesn't hit. I don't experience that with David.
Yeah.
It's cool. Just validates like what's already happening, which we talk about all the time anyway. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm just having this moment, like validating other people's intuitive knowing, even in those like little moments, like I did with that woman that like was nervous about the poison. I mean, the medicine. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Validating her intuitive knowing, and then watching the like brain scramble happen, you know, of like, oh no, but I have to do it anyway. It's like, I feel like that's what ends up happening with your channeling, is it validates our intuitive knowing, and then our like body pitches a fit, and it's like, I don't know about this, like, but there's like that deep resonance, soul knowing that's like, oh, fuck, this totally checks out. Fuck, what does that mean? Yeah. I am raw.
Pretty good. Wow. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Quite the transmission there.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's been very tough for me to bring through all this information today. It's been so hard for me. So
well, thank you.
You need to take care of the vessel.
Yeah.
Put the candle above my head.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna feed the conduit some hamburgers today.
Cheeseburgers.
I'll praise you. Yeah, give you a foot massage and massage the
be very nice.
the terminal.
I am raw.
Are the candles at the proper angle today? Oh my God. They could be turned perhaps an angle or more, 1 degree.
What a shit show.
To the west. I am raw.
You know what? I'm in. Do I admit this? Yeah, I'm in some Law of One groups on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to say the name, but you got an alias.
I do have an alias.
We got a spy on the inside.
Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of funny.
Is it really?
Yeah, I was thinking about sharing our video in there and being like, "Okay, have you guys seen this? This is ridiculous."
That's awesome.
And just kind of starting.
That's awesome.
But then now I just outed it, so then they would know who I was. If they'd have to be deep into this video to find out.
Yeah, they'd have to watch. Yeah, what 3 hours in?
No,
they wouldn't make it.
Not likely.
No, after that last raw joke, they'd been like, "This bitch."
I know.
Gotta get out of here.
I know they wouldn't even. They wouldn't even have made it. To subscribe.
It's not even worth commenting. No, I am gonna comment.
I'm gonna comment that this isn't worth commenting.
Yeah.
And I don't like her low vibe.
The people that were like, as soon as she said blankety blank, I was out. It's like, obviously not, because you wrote this. Right?
I know. It's like you must have stuck her out at least a smidge longer.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was thinking about infiltrating the movement.
That's pretty funny. I think about the same thing sometimes, making fake profiles. I mean, like, talking shit about us.
I
think about the same thing. Yeah, maybe that's our marketing plan.
That's our next.
Yeah, that's how we'll get on Joe Rohan 2025. It's just our viral marketing strategy.
Infiltrated the spiritual community that you're like a part of?
Yeah, we just went in and talked shit about ourselves until we blew up. Controversy is the way.
Yeah. I mean, that would be really fun, honestly.
It would work.
It would totally work. And you'd be like, God, she's so rude.
Have you guys seen this? Ugh.
I know, and everybody just likes him.
He's just so fucking likable.
Yeah.
What a dick.
I wish you would say something offensive. She says all the offensive things.
Why doesn't she just let the man speak and impart his knowledge?
I just copy all the YouTube comments.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Just found the cutting edge. I'll check it out. Thanks.
Yeah. And it's on audio too. Yeah. David reads it
to you. I forget if I read it in that article. Maybe. Yeah. If you want to hear me read it to you. if you want to move through the docs at a slower pace.
I don't know. That's what I prefer. I like what David reads. It's nice.
Yeah, I have audios on all of them.
Yep.
There's some other stuff in there. The Quit New Age Can't Christians also in there. So you can see some of our thoughts on spirituality and Christianity and whatnot too. We got some things in the resource library. They're a little bit old, but I stand by pretty much everything that we've written. Good enough.
Yeah. Good enough. Always evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I post my videos in there, but you can see them here too, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Miriam posts some like unlisted videos.
Really talking shit about people, those go behind the paywall.
Yeah.
Because I like say names and house.
The free paywall.
No, they're in members.
Oh, yes.
Some of
That's
them
true.
are in
That's
members.
True.
Some are in the community that you can only get to through the community, so they are free. But like, if I'm really going ham on the shit talking,
That's funny.
I put them.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. It's just funny.
Oh, well.
It's just a funny way to engage with a paid membership. That's where when I really talk shit. That's where I put the so it doesn't get back to the person.
Exactly. I mean, it would be so unlikely, but you never know.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know, I guess.
That's how you teach.
Well, I just like to be so candid. Like, I like to say names. I don't like to self-censor or be censored or any of that stuff. So when I'm going ham, it like trips me up when I have to think of or like talk of someone in like a general way.
It is hard. Yeah, Miriam's videos are like so Jesus flipping the change tables perpetually.
That plane is uber close wherever it is.
Yeah, I know. I saw a plane flying about that close the other day too. It kind of freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why the fuck is it so low?
It was on a different flight path too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We all saw it at the pool. And we were all like,
yeah. I know. I was like, is this shit crashing?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was wondering too. I was like, do I run towards it so I miss it? Like that was my thought. I was like, oh, I should run that way then if I'm gonna get up and run.
Yeah, probably. But it's high enough that it probably
would have taken a while for it to.
Yeah,
occur,
we might have felt
unless
like
it
a little
just
bit like
dropped.
a little wind.
Yeah, but I had that thought. I was like, okay, how do I?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the plane was great, but this one was just as close. Yeah,
close.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it, but I heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Our fucking thing just goes black.
out.
That's the end of it.
No, that would be so sad. That's the end of the second paradigm.
Yeah.
You guys would have to carry our.
Yeah.
And
Jeremy, you'd have to the cutting edge.
Yeah.
You have to share it.
Yeah, you have to share the doc, please.
If we go dark and that's
Please
it.
Share the doc.
Emil.
Yeah. Oh.
You inherit the docs.
Yeah.
Do with them as you please.
We could give Emil the hard drive.
Yeah, you'll be the beneficiary of the material. I
feel
think.
like Ben would be offended though. Ben would want.
Yeah, would Ben be offended?
He would be offended, but he does agree that Emil should do it. It's like both. You know?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
He should probably manage the hard drive, but like, I wish you would have thought of me.
Yeah, exactly.
Not because I wanted to do it, but because I wanted you to think of me first.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes. See?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If we ever just disappear, take them.
We'll have to. I feel like Emil might take his job a little too seriously, but I don't know now because now he's willing to have typos. So
that's true.
Maybe he's...
Yeah, we'd get an unleashed Emil.
He just blasts it out everywhere.
He'd be like, hi, I know I'm talking to most people that are tradition and culture fucking muggles, but if there's anyone out there who's intuitive enough to read this, then I guess you can read it. You're only going to read it if you're called to it anyway, so fuck you.
It's not, is this even worth my time?
Yeah.
It's just like so...
just so cynical.
Bitter. Fucking David and Miriam left me with this shit.
Why didn't they leave it to fucking Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate my fucking job. Signing off, Emil. With love.
That's awesome. With love.
So much love to you, E.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening to the old school music video too.
Oh yeah.
Use your voice.
Get out and vote.
Are you ready to fall back in line or get back in line and vote?
Man.
Yeah, maybe we'll watch Paradise Valley soon, but I don't think we'll watch FNN. So if you want to watch FNN on your own time, then.
But I think we should watch Paradise Valley.
4 out of 5 recommend.
And I think, yes, I don't like FNN.
7 out of 10 recommend.
And
pretty good.
I think we should watch Paradise Valley together, and then like
what?
Fuck. Like recap it. Like talk about the backstory. Like there was so much depth created in the character development. Like there are so many storylines that never made it to the camera.
I don't even know if I remember, honestly.
Oh, I do.
You remember
yes,
a lot?
Elephant.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, I definitely remember. Yeah, and like even like so Damian Davis ends up making an appearance in Paradise Valley.
In Paradise Valley, but also in all of our FNNs. We linked FNN and our whole world and all of the bad guys and the villains and the narratives and the story. We linked it into the spiritual sitcom afterwards.
Yes, the whole thing links.
Yeah.
And I think, but there's so much of a backstory.
That's true. All right. So I guess if you guys want to watch FNN, then you'll be prepared to watch Paradise Valley with us when we do a watch party. So I guess that's the homework.
It would be hours, wouldn't it?
FNN, all of them, each of them is like 5 or 6 minutes.
Paradise Valley. How many?
I don't know.
Oh, they were like each almost a half hour. How many episodes are there? 7?
7. I don't think we'd watch the 7.5. I don't think we'd watch what was it?
Oh, Jackson, Deborah.
Yeah.
It's just stupid and funny.
Yeah. Living Wage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
Living
we made
Wage.
a sitcom inside the thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Oh, I missed the music video. I'm excited to watch the beginning.
You've probably seen it, Danny. It was old school. It's from FNN.
Yeah.
Remember FNN? Anyway, if you guys watch FNN, then we'll all watch Paradise Valley together. but you have to watch FNN first. I'm going to be monitoring the views, and we need at least 5 to 6 views increased on every single FNN episode, and then we will.
No.
And you guys need to subscribe right now to the Second Paradigm YouTube channel.
Paradise Valley YouTube channel.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was the get out there and vote one. That grand old devil has got a plan for you. Falling, faded, down, down, down goes your soul. That one.
Ham.
Call me Porky the Pig.
Hey, you know what one I'm talking about? He just belts it out.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Let me sing it for you.
You got that mighty flight. Yeah, mighty flighty. Yeah, baby. Oh, baby. All right, guys. I got to get out of here before I embarrass myself too much. Before I'm no longer likable. I have to maintain
the likes.
Everybody likes me. 100% of people everywhere like me. It's my mantra for the day, and I'm sticking with it.
All right, bye.
All right, guys. Adios.
See you next time. Oh, I'm so glad that's over.
Oh my God, yes.
Awful.
So bad. Worst live ever.
Just kidding.
Gosh, that David guy just did that gay voice, and I was so offended. He made so many gay and Asian jokes. You know how racist and homophobic this motherfucker is.
I know. You should have heard him yesterday.
Yeah, and
what, the bag of sticks. The bag of sticks.
I am Ra. Was she making fun of the Ra, the sun god? How arrogant.